it all out. So I'll see you over there. Okay, so one thing to quickly note is mine say Ponder 2.0. This is solely for filtering purposes, as we have countless other campaigns that are actively scaling in this ad account. So we want to make sure that everything's kept separate, and this gives me a nice, easy way to use this for demonstration purposes and actively launch a new campaign for this product. So you don't have to follow along with the 2.0. You can just put Ponder and then dash and then the name of the campaign. So this is the same structure that we set up in the previous lesson. So let's go ahead and start by importing some creatives. So I always use Google Drive. What you'll see is I actually break them out. So I'll do whoever we're working with. So in this example, Noah, then I'll put the product name. Then I break it out into formation, being our cold ads, and then our stability zone. So for example, if we come into here, these are all of the cold ads that we created. Whereas if we went into stability zone, you'll see. So as I mentioned, remember I said we record the assets and we send it off to an editor. This is how we do it. So we record the raw assets here, and then my editor comes in, creates a folder called final, and then boom, now we have our diamond stability zone ads as well. So let's go ahead. I'm going to download these. So you're going to need to have them stored on your computer. And the one that I want to launch is actually this one here. So I have a couple variations, but this one, I had my video editor add captions to. So we're gonna go ahead and use this one. And remember, I said I recommend 3 to 5. So the other one that I want an image ad. So this one has, which one was the difference? So this has like a frame around it. Let's go ahead and use this one here. So we'll download this image. And then I also, one thing to note is it's always a good idea, if it's possible, to just take your iPhone, if you are recording your own ads, and make a vertical format. If you're not recording your own, just ask your editor to do it in a, 1080 by 1920 format. So that's going to be vertical, just like this. This is going to be native to stories, the Instagram story, Facebook story placement. So I'm also going to use this one. So here we're going to have 3 cold diamond formation ads being, so which ones did we download here? We downloaded this one. Then we have one of the images and then a vertical ad. So we have those downloaded. And then we also downloaded both of the retargeting ads. As I mentioned, I recommend at least 1 to 2 stability zone ads. So let me go ahead and unzip these files here. So now we have all of the ads. I'm just going to drag it in here, make it easy for me. All right, boom. Here's all of our ads that we're going to be launching with. So just get your ads in a folder, or all the files in a folder on your desktop. That way it's just organized and ready to roll. So let's go back over to Facebook ads. So when we come into the Diamond HQ, remember this is where we store all of our ads. We'll go ahead and come into the Diamond HQ, and then we have our images. Let me refresh. Remember, if Facebook ever gives you any issues, just refresh. It almost always works. So we have our images, we have the carousel ad, and then we have our videos. So let's start by importing the images. So we'll come into images, and we're going to hit create. So you'll see the campaign, the ad set, and now we're going to create an ad. This is how I do the naming conventions for ads. So a big mistake that I see individuals make, that I used to make, is messy naming convention. So how consistent are you with the way that you name ads? It's going to make a huge difference as soon as you start to scale. Once you have 15 to 20 different ad variations in moving pieces, you want to be able to understand what that ad is just by looking at the name. So here's how I do it. So first, I label all of my ads Ponder. The reason being is if you've ever worked with anyone else or an agency, or you're running a new product, just give it a prefix of Ponder. That way you can filter by it. So similar how I filtered by Ponder 2.0, any ads created by Ponder or by Ponder copywriting, I can quickly filter it with this naming convention. So I always start with Ponder. I put a dash. And now I'm going to use the product name. So if you have an ad account with just one product and only one variation, you don't need to do this, but it's just good habit. So we're going to do book bundle, just like that. You could even, if you want to, just give it BB. So just give it a abbreviation, but I'm going to do book bundle. Okay, another dash. Now I'm going to give a small description. So I put a bracket. And you might be thinking like, this is so weird. Why is he using brackets and all this stuff? I'm running accounts with thousands of different ad variations, and this naming convention makes it so easy to find what I'm looking for and understand what it is right away. So put a bracket and then give it a description. So let me think. First, I need to figure out which one I'm going to do. So I'm going to do one of the images. So this is like an outlined glowing book. So I'm going to do glowing book. Boom, like that. End bracket, then dash. Okay, so hang in there with me. Let's just run through this one more time. There's nothing magical about this naming convention. If you, for some reason, don't follow this exactly, your ads aren't going to blow up, and it's not going to decrease results. This is all about organization right here, and this is the way that I found works the best. Ponder, book bundle, product name, description of the ad. So in this one, I'm immediately going to remember, okay, glowing book. Actually, books, it's plural. There we go. Okay, now dash. And this last part is a bit odd, but just trust me on this. What you're going to want to do is create a random string of numbers. For you mathematicians, this isn't truly random, but it's worked very well for us. So what you're going to do is just on your keyboard, you're going to hit a bunch of numbers. So literally like this. Just like that. You might be like, what the heck? But what this does is create somewhat of a random ID. So if you want to filter by all of the campaigns using this ID, you can do that in the future. So it's just a random ID. There's nothing magical about this number. You can add letters, have fun with it, just smash the keyboard. You can do that. But just create somewhat of a random, unique ID at the end. That way, too, if you ever create a second variation of glowing books, then you can create a second variation of this ID and you know it's different. You can filter different. It's all about filtering and organization. Okay, enough about naming conventions. Yours should look something like this. Hit continue. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just make sure your Facebook page is the one. Same with Instagram. Let's turn on preview. Okay, and then we'll keep going down. Let's hit add media, add image. We're going to hit upload here, okay? So we'll go to my downloads and then drive, download. There we go. So here's our file. So I'm going to choose that image. So you can see we have a bunch of different ads running in here. But I'm going to choose this, hit next. You don't really need to switch anything here. And I'll explain this in 1 second. Uncheck allow enhancements and hit done. So you might be wondering, why didn't I hit allow enhancements? And why don't I want Facebook to make these auto adjustments to the ads? Well, when you do that, the social engagement doesn't transfer over when you duplicate it. So basically, what I'm trying to say here in simpler terms is once we start running this ad, you will see, likes and comments and all of that. And it's beneficial to carry that over to new campaigns because it, once again, shows social proof. If you have positive comments, you want everyone to see that. You don't want it to reset. And when you do the enhancements on or a dynamic creative, Facebook doesn't transfer those over if you duplicate it. So here's what I want you to do right now. If you see how it says 6 placements, 5 placements, 3 placements, we're going to clear group customizations right here. Okay, there we go. So you'll see that we just have the original selected. We don't really have any enhancements on. It is what it is. This is the format. Let's say that you uploaded an image and you wanted to crop it. So you can still do that, but do it as follows. You can hit edit, then edit media, and then you can choose crop right here. And then you can resize as follows. So you can zoom way in, so forth, then hit save. That is okay to do it that way. But what you don't want to do is modify it where you come down to stories and you hit edit group and then crop it because it's going to create a dynamic ad. Once again, this is one of those things that does sound confusing if you're new, but you will get the hang of it. Just for the sake of this launch, just keep it as is. If you want to crop, only use this tool, edit media right here, this top button. Okay, so we have our first image imported. Now we need to use Ponder to import our primary text. So I'm going to go over to Ponder and I'm going to generate some copy on the fly because I want to do that. So this is how, if you want to generate some more copy and just follow along, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can just go to saved, and drop it in. But I'm going to generate it on the fly here. So create it. We're going to do product title, create a success book bundle. Then we're going to do learn how to break free from fear, harness your creative energy, and do the work you love. There's the elevator pitch. Boom. All right, let's go ahead and create this. Give it a second. There we go. Okay, so quick glance, all of these look great. So I'm just going to save these. And let me see. Let's go to saved items. So remember, if you save them, you can just go to saved items. Go ahead, scroll down. Are you ready to take creativity to the next level? Book. This one's really good right here. I really like this one. So watch how easy this is. Once you're in your saved area of copy, you can hit this button here, copy. Go back to Facebook ads and just paste. There you go. So I want to give you a quick tip here. On mobile, Facebook's only going to show the first 3 lines of your copy on someone's mobile device. So the way that you can get an idea of what it's going to look like is if you click these 3 dots here and hit expand, you can actually see. So on desktop, still 3 lines, but you can see a lot more. Whereas on mobile, you're going to get cut off right here. So it's super important to put that that engaging hook right at the top, which is, are you ready to take your creativity to the next level? So there we go. That looks good. Next, what I like to do is put a little teaser. So see how you can hit see more and then it opens up? I want to incentivize people to click that see more button. It's a little kind of hack that we've been using, that we've seen a good improvement in our click-through rates because we get people to read the rest. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me go ahead, expand. I just want to kind of reset this format. Let's see. Maybe if you don't have to leave the screen. I just want to go back. There we go. So I wanted it to be minimized. So how do we incentivize people to click see more? Watch this. Do you want to learn how? So what if I put, let's see what this looks like. Okay, there we go. How to. All right, so this is, and then I'm going to do pointing right. My emojis didn't want to work, but let's go. So I have this little emoji icon here, and I'm going to find the one that is pointing to the right. You don't have to do this. I just want to show you a little technique that's worked really well for us. So check this out. Are you ready to take your creativity to the next level? Do you want to learn how to ... look at what we're pointing at? You'd be surprised how well this works. So then they click this, and now we can just kind of format it. So we could actually go like this. How to. I might add a couple more emojis just because I do know emojis have been working well for us. So we're going to go ahead and do this. All right, there we go. So take a look at how good that looks now. We've got that. We've got the hook. We've got this bit that this text that incentivizes them to click see more. Then we got the benefits and more. And so let's end this. So let's end this with a call to action here. So I can actually take a piece of this copy here. So I'm just going to go to Ponder and just look through what we built. Get the creative. I actually like this almost as a hook right here. So we'll just go here. And then we'll say click shop now to get yours today. There we go. So nice call to action. Okay, so we have our copy. And if you see this button here, add options, once again, this is also going to create a dynamic ad. So the social proof isn't going to transfer over. The other downside when you're launching a new campaign with this is it's going to take a lot more money in the form of ad spend to optimize. It's going to be more difficult to read results and make improvements. So stick with one. Let's stick with a static ad, not a dynamic ad, and continue building this out. So now we have our headline. So let's just go back over to Ponder. One thing I need to do is make sure that it doesn't clear when you leave. So by the time you're watching this, hopefully we finish that feature. So let me just quickly paste this in. We'll just, I mean, it's so simple to do this. Okay. Then we'll click on headlines and we're just going to create some headlines now. Oh, this is good. Perfect for the artist, writer, entrepreneur, dreamer, and all of us. Ooh, that's really good. I like this one too. Let's just generate a couple more variations. I like this. Okay, so let's go to saved. I really like this one. Perfect for the artist, writer, entrepreneur, dreamer, and all of us. But let's see how it looks. Remember, this is one of those situations where we could go down to, let's just use Brainwave actually, because this will be a perfect situation to use this. So just copy in the elevator pitch. Whoops, I didn't even hit copy on that. But man, look how fast this is to... gone are the days of me ever writing copy again. So here we go. All right. So what I want to do is I just really want to get a amazing headline. I don't even need the rest. So let's just do heading. Not big on that. I mean, that does look good. See the difference? Like this is too long. It's just way too long. Whereas when I look at it here, I can see that this creative success book bundle looks good. I do like that. I'm going to just copy it. Not a big on that. Learn the secrets of creative success. So I think this variation right here, the creative success book bundle, it just looks good. Okay, that's good. And now description. So let's go ahead and create a description here. Something a little bit longer. A bundle of books to help you become an entrepreneur. But it's not necessarily for entrepreneurs only. I'm wondering what type of angle that I can take with this. And apologies for this loading. This is our development server. You can see staging. So we are actively working on new features here, which I think is what's happening here. But let's go ahead. So a bundle of books to help you become an entrepreneur. I like the start of that, but I'm not big on the entrepreneur. So a bundle of books to help you achieve creative success. So there we go. The other thing to note is descriptions don't show on mobile formats, but for those on desktop, it does look pretty good. So let's look at it on desktop. So you can see that looks good. But a bundle of books isn't descriptive enough. So what I want to do, let me just give this a quick refresh. I'm going to rely on Ponder again because I wasn't big on that one. So let's just quickly punch this back in. There we go. Creative success book bundle. All right, and then I want some link descriptions. Let's get a couple variations. Ooh, I like that. That's a really good one. This is a good one right here. Save that. I'm going to copy it in. Break free from the constraints of your creativity. Boom. Awesome. So shop now. I'm going to use shop now over learn more just because the goal is for them to shop now. And there we go. Look at how clean that looks. Image number 1 down. Here we go. First ad. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to publish this. And remember how I discussed apologies. So if you got an error here, whenever an error shows up, if you hit view details, if you hover over this, required field is missing, the link field is required. So that's very important. Nice catch, Facebook. So what we need to do is copy in the link here. So we'll paste that. There we go. You can leave display link blank. You can leave these blank. Make sure your pixel selected here, your domain selected, I should say. Looks good. Okay. So now we'll publish it. And as I was mentioning, retaining social proof is very important. And so what you can do is actually use what's called an existing post. That way, Facebook doesn't create a new post every time. So think about when you post to your news feed. Each time that you create something, that's a new post. And Facebook assigns a new post ID to that, to each individual one. But now imagine if you made a post a year ago and each week you just duplicated it. It'd be the same exact post with the same post ID. So that's what we're going to do here. And I'm not sure if that was a good explanation, but hopefully the demonstration here helps. So what I want you to do is first refresh. And you might need to refresh a couple times. So just let's do 2 refreshes here after you publish. So now when we go back into edit, what you can do is come down to where it says create ad and hit use existing post. And what you'll see is that the creative stays the same. So all of this, let me annotate so you make sure you see what I'm referring to, but see how this is all the same, but what's different is now it says use existing post. And the other thing that is substantially different is you can no longer edit the ad creative. So there's a rule. If you want to carry over existing social proof and engagement, likes and comments, you can't change the ad once you create it. And it makes sense. Imagine if you posted a picture of a puppy, got a bunch of likes, and then switched it to some evil picture of something that people don't like, but it has all the social proof and it backs it. So Facebook doesn't want you to do that. So once you make it an existing post, you cannot change it. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and really quick, let's say that you do want to edit it. If you come to create ad, you'll see that it does reset. So you are able to come back, but you just aren't going to retain that social proof. So we're going to use existing post, and we'll hit publish. Okay. Sweet. So now we're going to go in. So this is going to be one of our image ads for cold traffic. This might actually work really well for retargeting, as it does kind of follow along with our 3 E's. But let's go ahead and create a video. So we're going to click on, let me just show you if you accidentally backed out. So once again, remember, we are still in the Diamond HQ. These are going to be the two. So these 2 campaigns are the only ones that have active ads. Diamond HQ is the one where we store our ads. So we're going to go back into Diamond HQ. Okay. Now videos. Let's hit create. Let's follow the naming convention. First, I need to remember which one I'm going to do. So I'm going to do the one with captions right here. So we'll ponder book bundle. It's a product name, bracket. And then to describe this, I'm going to do, so I recorded that with my iPhone. So iPhone video with captions. Okay. And remember the best part right here, just smash the keyboard. Give it a unique ID. Okay, we'll create this. Once again, make sure your Instagram accounts are selected. There we go, preview on. And now let's upload this. So we'll come to add video. So click on add media. Let me make sure my cursor's highlighted. And we're gonna upload this. There we go, book with the captions, open. All right, it might take a second to upload. I'll let this upload and be right back. Okay, the video is uploaded and we're good to go. So if you hit play here, you'll see video looks great. All right, so let's continue with that same process that we did with the image. Let's ensure if you see this a little trash icon next to stories or right column, make sure to click it. We don't want a dynamic ad. The one thing that we do want to add though is a custom thumbnail. So when it comes to thumbnails, thumbnails are very important because it's the first thing that shows before the video starts playing. So when there's someone scrolling really quickly, the thumbnail is going to show. And there's multiple ways to split test thumbnails, which we'll get into in a later lesson. But for right now, what I want to do is I'm going to use that image that we uploaded is the glowing book as the thumbnail of this video. That way, if someone is let's say they're on a mobile phone and they don't have a good network connection, Facebook will actually realize that and show them an image ad because they know they can't load a video. But let's say that same person's then, at home on a fast Wi-Fi connection, and Facebook wants to show them our video ad. By using the same thumbnail, they're going to remember this, and hopefully it'll make them watch it. So we're just going to use that same thumbnail for right now. So we'll click Edit Video, and we'll go to Thumbnail. And if you click on Manual, you'll actually be able to choose from here. But I want to upload, so I'm going to upload. And since I already uploaded that image, we'll click Continue. Boom, we're good to go. Okay. And give it a second. There we are. So you can see Instagram feed and so forth. So looks great. Let me make sure that this is not playing music. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and create some primary text. So I'm going to I really do enjoy that primary text for the book, but I'm going to switch it up a bit. So let's come back over to Ponder and let's do a problem solution. These work great for cold traffic because you're also in a way educating by explaining, we understand the problem, here's a solution to it, and then teaching what the solution is. All right. I do like this one. It's tough doing the work you love when fear and self-doubt has it strangled on your creative energy. The one thing is that's a little too intense. Remember, we want to try and maintain positive sentiment whenever possible. You have a lot of creativity. I like this one. You have a lot of creativity, but don't know how to use it because it's a compliment. Like, hey, dude, you're super creative, but let me show you how to use this. Okay, so this is a good one. I'm gonna save it, but first, it looks like it picked up his name. There we go. Okay, so the pain. You have a lot of creativity, but don't know how to use it. It's time for you to take that next step in your career and turn your ideas into reality. That's good. Solution. This bundle includes 3 great books from Noah Elias that will teach you how to harness the power of your imagination. Perfect. So copy that. I'm going to copy this over. The one thing that I want to do, though, and that I want to show you, very viable option, is I want to combine this ad with the previous one. So let's go to saved, and let's go down. And then this is the one that I really liked. So we're going to do this. So I'm going to take that group right there. And then let's see where this fits. So it's time for you to take that next step in your career and turn your ideas into reality. In this book, I'm just going to say in this bundle. In this bundle, you'll learn how to. There we go. The bundle includes 3 great books from Noah Elias that will teach you how to harness the power of your imagination. Okay. I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to make these lowercase. Okay, awesome. So remember how we did the image where we wanted to kind of incentivize them to click the see more button. The other thing is when you're running on Instagram, you'll notice that you really don't see much of it. So you really don't have much besides your hook. So the hook's the most important, but incentivizing the see more click is also extremely, extremely important. So we're going to head, also, instead of it expands where you can see, the specific one you have up, if you click on view more variations, you can actually see a wide variety. So all the stories, you're going to see just how it's going to look. So we want to see, we mainly want to look at the Facebook feed and the Instagram feed. Those are going to be our main placements. So let's go ahead and let me click on, here we are. Okay, so if you click it over here, it'll show here. Okay, there we go. So you have a lot of creativity, but don't know how to use it. It's time for you to take that next. So there's kind of where our incentive or our opportunity to incentivize is. So it's time for you to take that next step. I'm going to remove the word it's and see if I can fit next step. Yep, there we go. See, cut it off. Are you ready? Basically, I just want it to cut off at next step because next step is kind of like a cliffhanger. It's going to lead them into wanting to click see more. So we'll go ahead and see what that looks like. Are you ready to take that next step? If I do the, oh man, that's a tricky one. So let's do this. Still getting me there. Are you ready to take the next step? And I'm working through this live because I want to show you. It's really about testing and seeing what feels right in your gut. Once again, if you go back to that checklist and you ask yourself that question, do you feel 100% confident in the creatives? It's the same type of thing here. When you read this, does it make you want to click see more? If it doesn't, it's not going to make anyone else want to click see more. So I always put myself in the consumer's shoes and I read it as though I'm reading it for the first time, and I'm the potential consumer. Okay, so what if I did, is it time to take the next step? So is it time to take the next step? Okay. We're going to do this. I wanted to just get rid of that word in. And we can even do that, that little trick right here. And just bring that finger up like this. All right, let's see how this looks. Barely. And we can actually remove that. This looks pretty good. Let me see if a space works. There we go. Okay, I have a lot of creativity, but don't know how to use it. I actually want to use like the that thinking emoji here. So remember, whether you use emojis or not really depends on the product you're advertising and your target demographic. This specific product, it's a friendly, open, non-judgmental type of product. Like it's here to inspire, to be friendly. Whereas if you're selling a $5,000 luxury watch, you're probably not going to be using emojis. So remember the context of your consumer. Think back to your Miro board and your brand story. Who are you advertising to? It's going to really be dependent on what you use here. Okay, so there we go. Time to take the next step. Okay, this looks great. I really, really like this one. Although I'm going to use the emojis here. So if you're wondering, well, why are you using emojis if you're not sure if they're right for your audience? I've split tested emojis in this ad account. So I've literally ran split tests where I have emojis and then an ad variation without it. One with emojis performed better. So I kind of have a little sneak, little cheat code. So ... and more. Okay, I'm really happy with this copy. So let's go ahead, grab our headline. So we already had some saved here. I'm going to use this Creative Success book bundle once again. And then I actually kind of like this headline for the description. It's very flexible. Okay. Awesome. And then call to action, I'm going to use shop now. Remember to enter in the URL. So we'll enter in the URL here. All right. There we go. So we'll hit publish. And this is going to give us two diamond formations, so our cold traffic ads. This is going to give us two of them now. So for the last one, what I'd like to show you is how to create a carousel ad. Carousel ads are really engaging. They're really fun for mobile, and they do work on desktop as well. So let me show you how to do this. So let's go, actually first, let's do our little refresh a couple times here. So let's just see if it works with one refresh. Sometimes I get lucky. There we go. Okay, cool. So it might take you a couple, but either way. And see this ID right here? So this is a post ID that Facebook assigns. Let me annotate so you make sure you can see. So this right here, that is a post ID. So every time an ad's created, Facebook assigns a post ID. If you were to then change this ad, you would get a new post ID. In Facebook engagement, so we'll just put ENG. So this is going to stand for all of your likes, your comments, your saves, your shared messages on that post. They're attached to this post ID. So if the post ID changes, everything else goes away. So that's why we're using the existing post. So hopefully that one made more sense. Okay, there we go. So we have a video, we have an image, and now I want a carousel ad to run alongside all of my cold, my diamond formation. So we'll go to carousel. So you can click on it here, you can click on it here. Either way is fine. I'm going to use this menu though. So we'll click action menu, create ad, and we're going to follow that same goofy format. Ponder dash book bundle dash. So I guess one thing that I'll need to note is with a carousel ad, actually, let's just go ask Milo. What is a carousel ad on Facebook? Let's see if he can give us a bit of a description. Show up to 4 images or videos on the same screen. So what does that mean? We're going to need up to 4 images or videos. So obviously I don't want to use a bunch of different like variations of the same type of video. So what I'll do here is I'm going to get creative. I'm going to come to his landing page. I'm going to save image as. I'm going to download this. I'll take a picture of Noah here. There we go. And then I can use the other ones that I have on here. Okay, so check this out. So what we're going to do is hit carousel. And now we get to choose up to 4 images or videos. So check this out. This is what we're going to do. Manually choose images, videos, or links. If you installed the Facebook Shopify integration, if you're on Shopify, you might have a product set. We will get into that in a later lesson. For right now, just let's manually choose these. So don't get too ahead of yourself. Manually choose, select image. So let's go ahead and upload. So I've done so many various creative tests today. I have so many random files here. Okay, so we have that one. So I'll click on that. I'm going to upload that one first. Then I want this one as well. Uh-oh. So it failed. That one doesn't want to seem to upload. So let's try. So there's this handy little plugin. If you're on Chrome, just a side note, you can get this plugin. It is called Save Image as Type. It allows you to actually select which one. So I'm assuming that the format was all funky and it didn't want to save. So where'd it go? Here we are. Okay. Nope, I was wrong. I know what the issue is. Let me explain. So if you ever have an image that won't upload, a lot of time it is due to the size of the image. So what you'll see is, see how it's like 345 pixels wide or tall? That's too small to actually advertise on any placement, so Facebook's rejecting it. That's my assumption. I'm 95% confident in that. There could be something, though, just a bug going on. But no big deal. So what we want to do is select an image for this first one. So if you look on mobile, this is one of those where you can slide with your thumb left and right. On desktop, you'll be able to go like this. So let's first use that first image that we did. So you can see, boom, there we go. Or even better, what we can do is, let's add a video here. So we're going to select the video. If you didn't see what I did there, let me just redo that with my cursor highlighted. So I want to add that the video ad that we use here as the first one. And then the next slides after will be pictures. I feel like it'll be more engaging that way. So what I did to do this was, see this add media button? Click that and hit add video. Then click the last one and hit select video. Okay, there's the ad. Okay, awesome. So to get this up to the top, I'm just going to simply see how my cursor changes. I'm going to drag it all the way up here. Boom, there we go. All right, now down to the next one. Let's just add in these images here. I do really like a picture of this book bundle. So here's a little, somewhat of a cheat code. So on Mac, if you don't have a Mac, I'm not sure how to do this on Windows, but on Mac, you can hit Shift, Command, and then 4, and it's going to open up a screenshot tool, which you can then just kind of take a screenshot. So, and then in the bottom hand right of the screenshot, you'll see it is a much bigger image. Not high resolution, but it should be a little workaround here. So let me upload this. Weird, it does not want to upload images. In your case, just upload images. Here's a picture I took of Noah, though, that will work perfectly. So you can see him holding up the book in this next slide there. So let's go to Instagram feed. So Instagram feed, you'll see how having a video first just looks really nice. Okay, so there's a second image. So now I'm gonna add in a third. Let's do a picture of Noah actually working on art because he's creative, and that's what this is for. So this is a image here that we've run ads with before. So what you're seeing me do is reach deep into our assets. We have produced hundreds of assets specifically for this book bundle campaign. Needless to say, so as you saw me put 2.0, I've been scaling a book bundle campaign for Noah for over a year now. The campaign itself has over 3 million impressions. So it's scaled very well. And over time, I just continued to produce assets. I'd shoot Noah a text and say, hey, need new videos. He'd take a selfie video talking about it. And just constant production of assets is so important because it allows flexibility. So there we go. Let's see. I think somewhere we actually should have this book bundle uploaded anyways, or like a picture of it. Yeah, here we go. So I'm just going to use that. Boom. Okay, there we go. So let's go through now and add headlines for each one of these. So it's still the same type of layout. Basically, we want to add a headline that goes right here. So let's go ahead, go back to our handy tool. We're going to, and this is where like just creating a bunch of variations and saving them comes into play because it's going to speed up your launch time. But let's just do this, Creative Success Book Bundle. Okay. Book bundle, I like that. I like that. All right, I'm going to do one more generation, and then we're just going to import these. Ooh, perfect. All right, so we'll go saved. So I need 4. I like this one right here. So this is going to be the first one. So headline, what you'll see is it updates. Here we go. So Creative Success, a book bundle. I might actually just do Creative Success book bundle for the first one. And now this is what's pretty cool about carousels. You can actually, in a way, break down buyer objection ad by ad. So we will, for headline number 2, let's say someone watches the video, they see Creative Success book bundle. What we can do now is if we go back to the copy we generated, and you'll see we have these 3 benefits right here. So I'm just going to take benefit number 1, and where are we at? Here we are. I'm going to add as headline number 2. Okay, here's number 3. So harness creative energy. There we go. And then I might end this with the more call to action one. So buy the Creative Success book bundle. Awesome. Okay, so that looks good. And then what you're going to want to do is get your URL and make sure it's added on every carousel. So website URL. That way when someone clicks on a specific like part of that carousel, it'll still take them to the same website. There we go. Finally, okay, perfect. All right, that looks good. I'm going to uncheck automatically show the best performing card first because I want the video to show first. Add a card at the end with your profile picture. It doesn't hurt to leave this. It really doesn't make a difference either way, to be honest. We haven't seen an improvement or a decrease improvement in our tests, so we can leave it on. Okay, there we go. So we have 4, and then what we want to do, I'm also going to leave the description blank just because the majority of times carousels show it's on a mobile placement. The majority of times they're just very effective on mobile versus desktop. And description is not going to show on mobile, so I'm not going to worry about the description here. Okay, so let's keep going down, and now primary text. So what we can do is I actually am going to use this variation right here. And I'm just going to paste it in. And then I'm going to do the, what's a good emoji for the creativity to the next level? Okay, and then I'm just going to leave this one like this. Run one without a lot of emojis. And mainly, the one reason that I'm not going to sit here and try to incentivize the see more click and so forth is in our test, most of the engagement happens on the carousels. So let's actually click this button and hit expand. Desktop. Sweet. So you can see it'll play the video. It'll showing him holding up the book, showing him what you're going to get. Harness your creative energy, showing that he is a creative. There's authority. And then here's a call to action. And then there's the profile image. So if they click that, that'll still take you to the website. It's just a picture of him. Okay, so this looks great. Let's do a get offer on this. I like get offer on this one because I refer to the bundle and we're showing multiple carousels and just having some variety in our ads. Okay, perfect. So we'll paste in the URL down in the see more in case they click one of the other buttons here. And make sure the pixel's set up. You're good to go. Okay. So we now have built out a carousel. Just double check your Instagram account and then publish. All right, let this go ahead and publish. And then what we're going to do is actually take these 3 ads and build out our diamond formation campaign. Then we'll come back and do the retargeting. If you need to take a break, if you need to rewatch sections, do it. This is like the down and dirty technical aspects of running Facebook ads. You have to learn this if you really want to scale campaigns. So take your time. Don't get overwhelmed. If you feel frustrated, get up, take a shot of tequila, do whatever it takes, and get refreshed before diving back into it. You want to make this a fun experience. Okay, so we have this. There we go. Oh, I almost forgot to use existing posts. So you can still do that with carousel. So we're going to go back in there, carousel. We'll hit edit, and we're going to do use existing. Perfect. There we go. Publish. Okay. There we go. So we have now created the initial ads. And actually, we don't necessarily need to do the stability zone ads on this video as it is a longer tutorial because all you're going to be doing is the same exact process. So if you have an image ad that is ready for the retargeting, if it's more of a direct call to action, then you would just go to image and you would create an ad here and follow the same exact process. So let's go ahead and start to publish these campaigns. So the next step is going to be getting your audiences ready. Who are you going to be targeting? How do you know who to target? Well, it's actually a very simple process nowadays. Rewind 2-3 years ago. If you go to some of my, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can search Dylan Ponder and go watch one of my videos from 2.5-3 years ago on Facebook ads. You're going to be blown away by how much work it was to find the right audiences to target, to do the right placements, to ensure that your budgets were set in the right way that was profitable. Like all these little things had to happen. But nowadays, Facebook preaches the opposite. So let's go ask Milo, what is the Facebook Power 5? I'm going to be impressed if he actually knows this one. I don't know if we've trained him yet. Yep, so I don't think he knows what Facebook Power 5 is yet because it is a pretty hidden topic here. Okay, so Milo doesn't know. Milo, you got to get better at the Power 5. I'm going to have to train you. But let me just go ahead and show you manually. So if you search Facebook Power 5, Facebook Power 5. So basically Facebook, and we've touched on this in the earlier lessons, but nowadays you're going to be following this exact process. So you don't need to do all that manual work. So let's go ahead and target your customers in a way that's relatively simple. So go ahead and go to the diamond formation. Here we're going to hit create. And we're going to give an ad set a name. Since we don't know the name of the ad set yet, because we haven't shown you the naming convention, we'll just type 1 and then hit skip ad. So select the drop down skip ad. Okay. So now you want to select your pixel. You want to choose your conversion event. So we're going to do purchase. One thing to note. So if you see on my screen here, it says set up conversion API. So we do have it set up on the Shopify store, but we utilize this pixel on various landing pages and other websites, honestly. And so those don't have the conversions API, which is flagging this. If you are seeing this and you feel like you should have the conversion API set up, go back through that step-by-step process and get it working. Do not make the mistake of running ads without it. If you run ads without the conversions API, you're going to miss out on a lot of data, and Facebook actually just won't be able to show your ads to certain people because they don't have the data they need to do so. So make sure that you don't see this, and if you do, just go back through that process again. Okay, so we'll go ahead and scroll down. You can leave all this by default. So when it comes to custom audiences, what we first want to do is exclude our retargeting traffic. So remember, let me go ahead and just kind of annotate this out for you. So the diamond stability zone, I'm just going to label it DSZ. This stands for diamond stability zone. It's down there. And then we have the diamond formation. So remember, this is cold traffic. This is people first time seeing brand or product. When you're advertising to these individuals, let's say that let's say we have a user on Facebook, and she's named Sally. So Sally sees one of these book bundle ads, clicks through to our website. So that would be a view content event. She's viewing the content on our website. Well, now she's going to be placed into our diamond stability zone, which is retargeting. We no longer want Sally in this cold traffic because she's not cold traffic. And if Sally was to make a sale, we then want to see the sale attributed to the retargeting, the diamond stability zone. So what we're going to do is actually build a custom audience of individuals that are retargeting audiences and then exclude them from our campaigns. That way, the moment that they take an action, they're no longer considered cold traffic. So here's how to do so. Come over to All Tools and click on Audiences down here on the bottom left-hand side. I'm going to open this up in a new tab. So here we are on the audience section of Facebook ads. And don't get overwhelmed with all of these on mine. This is because we've been creating custom audiences for tons of different campaigns. Yours will be empty if it's a new ad account. So let's create a custom audience made up of our retargeting traffic that we want to exclude. So we'll hit custom audience, your sources. So website. Well, next. So we want to select the right pixel. Make sure you have the right pixel selected. And then you can do all website visitors if it's a single product. But in our situation, we have a bunch of different products running. So if the same thing is happening in your case, here's what you can do. So you can come down to page view. And we want to exclude people for 30 days. Usually we do 21 to 30 days of excluding from cold traffic. Let's just keep it at 30. 30 is a good amount of time. You can do this also if you think about the last time you considered buying something but didn't. How long did it take you before you reconsidered it? That's basically the time frame that you want to put here. So 30 days is a good average amount of time. So in this situation, we only want to target exclude people that visited the book bundle, because what if they bought one of Noah's art pieces of art and then saw this? We don't want to exclude them because that's not technically a customer of this product. So here's what we'll do. We'll hit refine by URL or parameter. So if we go back to this page right here, you'll see book. So let me just go ahead and copy the back half of the URL. So I'm just going to take the word book here. Let's go back to audiences and just, if you see URL contains, and we'll put book, boom. So now this custom audience will only collectively grab people that have visited that book page. The other thing that you can do is if you have Chrome, you can install the Chrome extension called Facebook Pixel Helper. And if you click this, what you'll see is if you click on the view content, you should see a content ID. So let me go to like Brewmate, for example. So for this isn't Shopify. This is automatically built in. So we don't have this set up here. But let's go to, so if you are on Shopify, here's what you can do. So we'll go to a random product here. What you'll see is if you click on this, So view content, see this content ID? So once you have the content ID, what you could do is come to events, view content, refine by, URL or parameter, content IDs, paste it in, and now Facebook's only going to use people that have added that specific product or viewed it, added a cart, and so forth. But we don't have a content ID for the sales page here, this landing page, so we're just going to do page view, refine by, URL, parameter, paste, book, boom, now we're good. So when it comes to the diamond stability zone, we're going to do a much more in-depth breakdown of custom audiences. But for this example, I want to ask you a question. So think about it like this. When someone visits this page, let me pull out my annotation tool. Okay, so they're on this page right here. So this fires a page view event. Let's say they did purchase. What would be the flow of events? Well, then they would add to cart. They would initiate a checkout. And then finally, they would make the purchase. But the point I want you to see is that they first have to do a page view. So everything else is going to be grouped into a page view custom audience unless it's excluded. And you can see this process. I'll show you this right now. So you'll see we have page view. Oh, actually, we do have, oh, we're still showing BrewMate. Let me give this a refresh so it picks up the right pixel. Okay, so that's really weird. It's showing BrewMate. But you'll see page view fired. So we click Get Book Bundle. Give this a second. And it's going to take us to checkout. So now we check the pixel helper. And it's still picking up BrewMate. In this situation, just close your browser, restart it. But what you would see if it was working correctly is it would fire initiated checkout and add to cart and so forth. So in this situation, we're okay just to simply do a page view for the last 30 days. And we're going to name this Ponder. So we're going to follow that same naming convention, book bundle. And then we can just do page view and then 30 days. Create. All right, so we just created our first custom audience. So let's go ahead and go back to the ads manager. And if you click in custom audience, you're going to see your custom audience that you just created. So here it is right there. But we want to exclude it. So exclude. There we are. Okay, so age range. When it comes to ages, obviously you know your demographics. Once again, refer back to your Miro board, to your brand story. What is the general age range? If you aren't sure, leave it broad. If you are very sure, like for example, we do have data on this, as I mentioned. So I know for a fact that our top performing ages is 27 through about 57. There we go. If you're selling a gender-specific product or offer a specific service, then you can edit here. But for us, gender neutral, so we're going to keep it as is. Detailed targeting expansion. So let's ask Milo, what is detailed targeting expansion? Let's see what Milo has to say here. Yeah, it's a way to target people who are interested in your products or service to reach people who may not be your typical customer. Good job, Milo. That's exactly what it is. So basically what this right here allows Facebook to do is go outside of your specified targeting. And let's say that you target people who like to read books, but they see someone over here in this random fishing audience, and they're like, oh, actually, his profile fits the right customer. This toggle right here will let Facebook go out of your audience and try to achieve that conversion. So when you initially launch, it's tempting to do this, but I prefer to wait because when you're launching, it's much more important to learn what audiences on Facebook are showing promise versus maybe it's the audience that's showing promise, or maybe it's just Facebook going out and doing their own thing. So later down the road, when you have a lot of data, it's okay when you're scaling to use this. We do use it when scaling, but for now, uncheck this. Okay, so now we have detailed targeting. Include people who match. So this is a very powerful tool. You can do demographics, education, financial, so forth. But really, it's going to come down to a lot of interest targeting. So for this situation, we want to target creatives. So let's go ahead and type in creative and just see what it shows. Creative. Look at that. So we already have an interest. writing, technology, creative ideas, all of this. Amazing. And if you look, you see the audience size here, 74 million people, 20 million people, so forth. Back, if you, once again, kind of referring to my older videos, if you were to watch one 2-3 years ago, I'm talking about trying to sniper target your audience. Get really, 74 million would have been outrageous to do. But with the Power 5, they want you to go broad because their algorithms can optimize better. And we have seen better results going broad. We have essentially a much larger room to scale. And Facebook does a really good job of pinpointing your target demographics anyways. So it's less about sniper targeting and all of that, more about going broad. With that said, I do want to know if it is a very specific product, like a $5,000 luxury watch that has a Chicago Bears logo engraved into it, well, you're going to want to get very specific. Affluent individuals that live in maybe Chicago that are Chicago Bears fans. So you want to niche that down. That also collect watches. So certain situations you can get niche, but if you're selling a book bundle for creatives, entrepreneurs, artists, so forth, let's go broad. So we're going to type in creative again. I like this creative ideas. So just choose one that sounds right. Think about it. 20 million people. Facebook's going to do a better job targeting the right people than you are. So this is how we name our ad sets. We simply just take the name of the detailed targeting. So creative ideas, we'll copy it. We're going to paste it in. All right, looks good. Go ahead, scroll down. I leave it on automatic placements now. Once again, feeding Power 5. Optimization for ad delivery. So if you click this, you're going to see an option for value. If you have enough data. If it's a new ad account, you're probably not going to be able to choose value, so conversions are fine. I'm actually running an active split test of using value optimization versus conversions, so if you do want to see that, that'll be in the coaching vault at some point. But leave it at conversions. You're going to be set doing it like that. Attribution setting, leave the default. Please leave the default, and then go ahead and hit publish. All right. So we just published our first ad set, and from here it gets very, very fast. So let's go back to campaigns, and what you're gonna go back into diamond formation, and now click here to select creative ideas, hit duplicate, and type under number of copies, put 3. So right here you wanna put 3, and duplicate. So now let's go find 3 other audiences to target. So there's a really easy way to do this. What you can do is come down under detailed targeting, hit edit, and then turn off detailed targeting expansion. They will automatically turn that on by default when you duplicate something. So make sure to shut that off. And then just simply hit suggestions. It's going to show you a lot of different variety of audiences to target. So let's just choose artist. There we go. So we're going to do artist in one. All right. Next, we want to hit suggestions. We're going to do entrepreneurship. Sweet. And then let's go ahead and do, so for this last one, I'm going to get a little funky with this targeting, but I want to show you the flexibility of this setup. So let's go ahead and choose creativity. So there's 402 million people in this audience. We want to remove creative ideas. So let me just double check I did that from the other ones. Yep. So remove creative ideas from there, leave creativity. And now what I want to do is actually narrow the audience. So I'm going to hit narrow, and I'm going to hit suggestions. But let's think, like, if someone was to buy this book, and remember, pull up your Miro board with your advertising story. That's going to be extremely beneficial here. But creativity, and specifically with our ads, we're talking about, let's just go to our saved ads so I can really reference these. Break free from that's a tongue twister. Break free from fear, harness your creative energy, creative genius, turn your career and ideas into reality. I like that. So let's think about it like this. What if we target creativity, but then we narrow it by entrepreneurship? So now we're getting creative entrepreneurs, and we narrow it further with with, let's do small business owners. There we go. And if you want to see the audience size, if you have a custom audience on here, it's not going to show it. So let's just remove it and you'll be able to see it. So we still have 700,000 people here. Let's just test it out. And if you do decide to do one of these more narrow audiences, you're going to find that the costs to advertise do become much more expensive because you're limiting the amount of people. The broader the audience, usually it's substantially cheaper to advertise. But hey, if it's profitable, we're all about it. So creativity, entrepreneurship, small business owners. So here's how I'm going to name this one. So I'm going to do times. So I'll put the X. Entrepreneurship. There we go. Times small business owners. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's just verify all of this looks great. Boom. There we go. To select, actually, let's just hit publish on this one, and then we'll do the other two separately. So I want to just show you. So Facebook makes ad sets disappear all the time. Refresh comes to the rescue. There we go. If it says in draft or if it's highlighted green, it is not published. Do not hit discard drafts. Hit review and publish, then publish. And now we're good to go. So how do we get these ads that we created in the Diamond HQ in our diamond formation? Good question. Let's go in here. And then let's just, without selecting one of these, let's just click on ads. That way we can see all of the ads in this campaign. So if we expand this, we'll see we have the, I don't know why it's not loading the full name. Oh, it's because I didn't finish naming the carousel. So let me just do that very quickly. So carousel, and then we have video number 1, and then images. Then we have like so I'm just gonna do 1 video with captions, 3 images, and then smash the keyword. Okay, sweet. Okay, there we go. So let's duplicate these into those ad sets with a couple clicks of a button. You don't have to do this manually one by one. So click select all, hit duplicate. Now choose existing campaign. Highlight this campaign here, delete it. Then filter. So this is where filters come in. So if you put like a book bundle, you can filter by all of your campaigns. I actually didn't name them book bundle. I just did Ponder 2.0. So there's Ponder 2.0, quickly filtered through hundreds of campaigns that we'd previously run. And now I'm going to choose diamond formation. I'll click and add ad sets. I'm going to just choose one, and then I'm going to click add to all. It's going to select all of them. Number of copies, 1, duplicate. And we are good. So that moved. If you look, over here we have this diamond formation campaign. Each ad set has drafts. Remember, these aren't published yet, of the 3 ads. So we're going to hit publish. There we go. So let's go back here and let's just take a look inside what's going on in here. So you'll see we have our ad sets, and then if you go into one of them, we have our ads. And the best part is, see how it still says use existing post? That means if that video ad gains likes or comments from this ad set, the rest of the ad sets are going to see the same social engagement. So make sure when launching campaigns, if you want to build up that social engagement, to use the existing post. Okay, here we go. So if we go, if you use the pre-launch checklist and you defined your budget, I'm just going to use the example of $100 per day. So first thing that I want to do, just for safety measures, is move the Diamond HQ budget down to 5. Remember, this campaign's never going to run, but in case it does, I don't want it to spend $100 by accident. All right, so we'll keep that at 5. Diamond formation is going to be 80. So 80% of our $100 budget is $80. Then I might as well just set the diamond stability zone here at 20. Okay, so now we have diamond formation ready to go. Okay, now it is time to build out the diamond stability zone. So if you remember, we're going to have a couple ad sets in here. We're going to have our warm traffic, which are people that engage with the post, engage with the ads, but didn't visit the website. Then we're going to have one for our hot traffic, being website visits, add to cart, initiate checkout. And then finally, if your product is one that is consumable, not necessarily in the form of like drinking water, but in the form of something that you use, for example, like a candle. You use it and it runs out and you have to buy another one. We're actually going to build an ad set for existing customers. On top of that, you're also going to see how to use dynamic creatives and the power of that. So let's go ahead and build this out. One thing to note is to get your diamond stability zone creatives, just build them the same way that we did with the diamond formation. So for example, let's do one with this image. So I'm just going to hit duplicate as I'm going to use the previous one as a base. All right, create ad. Okay, so as you can see, we have a fresh ad now. So I'm going to use the glowing books, but I'm going to put DR for, actually I'll put direct response. So direct response, now I want to change that random bunch of letters. So just follow the same process that we initially did to get your diamond stability zone, your retargeting ads in here. All right, so let's go ahead and do add image. Oh, I could actually use that product photo. So the photo of the book bundle would be good. Here it is. All right, next. We'll hit next. We'll hit done. Okay, sweet. All right, so let's go ahead. I am going to crop this. So see how this one doesn't fit well? If I hit edit, whoops, almost made that same mistake. So make sure to clear that if you see that trash can, and now I can hit this edit drop down. So edit media, we're gonna do square. Ooh. Yeah, we want to do square here, but it's not really fitting. So you can kind of see my dilemma here. Let's do we'll just stick with square, but I'm going to resize this down to it's really just the books. Yeah, so this looks great. We're going to use this one. All right, save. Okay, much better. Looks great. And now remember, when it comes to bottom of the funnel, we want to be direct call to action. So let's see. We could just say, don't forget your creative success book bundle. And I believe Noah is actually running a discount on this. Let's see. Yeah, so previously they were all $60. Now they're $39.99. So that's save $20 on it. Save $20 for a limited time. I do definitely need to confirm when that promotion ends. But this is an example of direct response. All right, so headline, creative success book bundle. And remember in Ponder, we actually created one that said buy the creative success. Yeah, so I like that. So you could do one like this. You could also do save $20 for a limited time. Because save $20. Ooh, how about this? Let's just do. So you can see how I'm using all caps. I'm being slightly like almost yelling through the internet. But we're at the point of the funnel where we want people to convert. We're right there. At this point, we know they've added to cart or initiated to checkout. So what's hindering what's their objection to buying it? Maybe it's the price. So we break that down. Maybe it's authority. So like, what if we add on to this just to tackle all the objections in one place? So we could say, I mean, thousands of individuals have used these books, and great feedback. So let's do something such as thousands of individuals. Let's use this just like this for right now. And then I'll show you the other format in a minute, but don't want to get too overwhelming. I get excited when I'm building creative. So we'll keep it like this. I'm going to use shop now. All right. And then I'm actually going to use my favorite pointing right emoji. There we go. And you'll see the emoji points to the shop now button. So once again, remember your audience. You don't have to use emojis. What does this look like on a separate line? All right, that looks kind of cool. I like how that stands out a bit more. And then this was not glowing books. So remember, we want to edit this to say, we'll just do book bundle product render. I don't remember if I changed the numbers, but I'm going to change the numbers there. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to publish. Did I forget the URL? I did. All right. So that is published. Let's go ahead and refresh. We'll hit edit. And remember, we just want to use existing on this as well. Oh, perfect. So this gives me an opportunity to show you what might happen on your end. See how it says select the existing post, so forth. If you click this, you can actually select that. But what'll happen is it's not going to show your text. So hit discard draft. Don't publish this. Discard it. Once you discard it, refresh. Let's just do 2 refreshes to really kick things into action here. All right. So then we'll go back to that. Edit. Now let's try using existing post. There we go. So you can see it's just a matter of refreshing and making Facebook work. Okay, so now we have one of the diamond stability ads. Follow that process for the remainder of the ads that you've created and the copy that you've created. Let's go build the diamond stability zone now. So in here, let's structure the ad sets. So we'll hit create. You can hit skip ad. We don't need that right now. So we're going to do diamond 1. And you can label this as warm. You don't have to, but just for if you're new to this diamond strategy, you could label it as warm. All right, cool. So we'll select the pixel, select your pixel, select your conversion event, uncheck detailed, automatic placements. All right, great. Now, don't click anything besides go up to action menu, hit that, and hit duplicate 2 times. Okay, now let's select this top one that says warm copy. We're going to change this to diamond 2. We'll label it hot. There we go. Now click on the other warm copy. Now this is going to be diamond 3. And remember, this is going to be existing customers. If you don't have a product that people are going to come back and buy or a product to cross-sell, you don't need to create this audience. And realistically, for this book bundle, it's not really a product that once you buy it, you need to buy another one. Books last a lifetime. So in this situation, I don't need to create it, but I will just to show you how to actually set this up. And then finally, go ahead and click on the action menu again. Hit quickly duplicate. But this time, we're going to use a dynamic creative, so DCO. So put diamond number 4, and then just type DCO. And we could put stacked. Right. I'm trying to think how to filter best. Put diamond 4 dash ponder DCO. Okay. So what you can do to publish all of these at one time is click on the top one, and just like a normal application on your computer where you hold shift to select a bunch, come down to the bottom one, hold shift, and then click. It's going to select them all, and you can hit publish. All right. So what we need to do now is get our audiences built for this setup. So let me show you how to do this. First, we're going to build our warm audiences. So go back to your all tools, scroll down to audiences, and then click, and you're going to end up on your custom audience page where we created the previous ones. So go to custom audience, create audience, custom audience. And now we don't want to use website because we only want people that engage with our ads off of our website. So only on Facebook. So we are going to choose, first, let's do video. So any of your video ads, we can actually track how long of the video someone's watched. So we're going to choose video. We're going to do 95%, choose video, and then you're going to see all of the videos that we have run. So you can see we have quite a few impressions on some of these. So you can see a couple of these, 82,000, 334,000. The specific book bundle one that we previously ran has around 3 million now. And the best part is like those 3 million people, you can actually get data on how much of that video they watch and then retarget and build audiences. So check this out. So here's the video with captions that you saw me create at the start. So select that, and you can choose any of the other ones that you've uploaded in this for this campaign. So select all your videos and then hit confirm. So now what this is going to do is create an audience of people who've watched 95% of your video. And we're going to do 30 days. Audience name. So we're going to label this Ponder. Same format, book bundle. We're going to give description. So video with captions. And then 95% video viewers, VV for video viewers. And then 30 days. So be descriptive. You want to be able to look at this, immediately know what it is and the people that are in there. You can even add a description, but our audience names are descriptive enough. All right, create audience. Now we're good. All right, let's create another one here. So instead of video, let's do Instagram account. So we'll go here, select the Instagram account for your brand. Everyone who engaged. So you can also get more specific, save the post, but everyone engaged is a good one. So we're going to do 30 days. Same process. So Ponder, book bundle. We're going to do, there's really no reason for description. And we can say everyone who engaged. That works. And then dash engaged. So I'm going to do IG engaged actually. So that way I know that this is Instagram engagement. And I maxed out the amount. So all engage. I'll just put all engagers dash 30 days. All right, sweet. Create another custom audience. And now we are going to do Facebook page. So hit next, choose your Facebook page, same exact process. Sweet. There we go. There's everyone that engaged with Facebook. Create another custom audience. Let's just take another look around. Really, that's going to summarize the majority of your profitable warm audiences. So we are good on this list. You'll also notice that there's things such as like uploading customer lists. So if you are an existing brand, you can upload those here. But for the sake of this warm traffic example, I wouldn't even consider that warm if they're already a customer, right? So we're not going to do any of these other ones for the warm traffic. All right, so we have the warm traffic built out. Now let's go back to the ads. Choose one, diamond one, warm. Let's go down. Now check this out. We're going to do custom audiences. Click in here. Do custom audience. Now select them. So not page view. We don't want page view because that's a hot audience. We want Facebook engaged, Instagram engaged, 95% video viewers. And then we want to exclude our hot audiences. So remember how I said anyone that viewed the page would also have to add to cart, initiate checkout, so forth. So we'll exclude page view, 30 days. There we go. So now the way that this funnel works is if they engage with the page or engage with our ad, but then click to the website, they get removed from this ad set. So this ad set's only going to track people who engage with the ad and bought that first time. So this is a very good way to really move people through the funnel. All right, so we'll continue scrolling down. You can leave your age broad, once again, unless it's specific, same with gender. But as long as you're doing that filtering in your cold traffic, that's going to be the only people that come through into this one. All right, so there we go. No detailed targeting, no reach, automatic. Boom, publish. Let's go ahead and go back now and create our hot audiences. So create audience. Now we want to do website. So as I mentioned, page view works, but I want to show you how to create the other ones because when we go to scale, we will be using initiate checkout audiences and so forth. So here, you can click on all website visitors, and we're going to do, so we did page view. You can do view content if you have a product ID. For this, we don't. But we're going to do initiate checkout, and we're also going to include So if you hit that include button and you could, all website visitors, you can do add to cart. So that way, now we're grouping initiated checkouts and add to carts together. The reason being is, especially with iOS 14.5, I found the pixel tracking to be, everyone's finding the pixel tracking to be much less reliable. And so if someone adds the cart and then initiate checkouts, but the checkout pixel doesn't fire, you still want to retarget them. So I'm going to group these two together like this. Here we go. Ponder, book, bundle. We're going to do add a, so I don't really need to be descriptive here. We're just going to put add to cart plus initiate checkout 30 days. All right. The other thing I want to note is that with this pixel, we do have other products. So if you have other products, you don't want to include those in this campaign, right? We want to be specific to this book bundle. So this is where you can use this URL. So we're going to come here, refine by URL parameter, paste it in, refine by, there we go. Create audience, done. Okay. So in the warm, since we created it, might as well exclude it from here. So we're just going to come into custom audience. Where are we at? So filter, there we are. So now our warm is complete. Let's go ahead and set up hot. So include. So we want to do add to cart. We're going to filter again. There's our hot traffic, the custom audience we just created. So who do we want to exclude from hot? Well, we want to exclude existing customers because once they buy, this isn't the type of product that we want them to buy again. And if we did, we have a separate ad set for that. So let's go ahead and build that. Create another custom audience, hit website, next, do purchase. And if you have a content ID, you can refine by that. For this, I don't. I'm going to do URL. All right. Ponder, book bundle, purchase, 30 days. So very descriptive. I know what it means. All right. So then we're going to exclude purchasers. And might as well, actually, we might as well exclude that from warm traffic just to be safe. So let's go ahead, go back to warm. So you click there, and we're just going to exclude purchase. So I typed a filtered book bundle purchase. So you can see how easy it is to filter if you just type the word book bundle. Now all of your various audiences pop up. All right, so we're good on hot, we're good on warm. We're good here. Perfect. All right, so now for existing, all you need to do, so uncheck detailed, come up to include, and then this is where it's dependent on your product. Let's say you have a product that runs out in 30 days. So you don't want to retarget people that bought within 30 days. You actually want to exclude people that bought within 30 days. So you go back to your audiences, create a custom audience, website, next, purchase, and then you're going to want to do, let's say, so we're going to exclude 30 days. Let's just say 180 days. So 180 days is the max. So if you try to do 181, it has to be 180. So we'll enter this. Oh, refine by. So enter your content ID or your URL. All right. And then we're going to do purchase 180 days. So now in existing, what we'll do is we're going to include, so search, I can search 180. There's the audience I created, exclude 30 days. So once again, I have so many audiences, and you will when you scale. We're just going to filter 30 days. All right, there we go. So now we have our existing customers that after they purchase for 30 days but haven't bought again within 180, then we'll start showing them ads in this ad set. So it's a great way to track. For my my personal brand that's done around $4 million in 12 months, our existing ad set is generating a 17 return on ad spend. So every dollar that we invest into the existing customers, we generate $17 back. So if you have a consumable product and you're not advertising to existing customers, you're welcome. This is going to be a game changer for you. All right, so we have existing. So now we have these three set up. Now let's get our DCO going. But first, let's publish these. So click on existing, hold shift, click, publish. There we go. Skip ad. All right, so now DCO. What is a dynamic creative? Basically, you can give Facebook all of the assets that you've built, all of the actual video or image creatives, and variations of copy, and say, "Here you go, Facebook. I'll let you produce the final result to show to a user." And this can be very powerful in correlation with the remainder of the Ponder Diamond Stability Zone. So the way that I look at this, the way that I would like you to look at this to understand this a bit further is, oops, there we go. So let's say that you take, once again, let's just refer to, so we have that user, Sally. So Sally, first, sees an ad. So she goes into your warm audience. She clicks on that ad. So now she visits your website, and now she's in the hot ad set right here. She still hasn't purchased. What this fourth ad set, the DCO, will allow you to do is essentially tell Facebook, hey, I've shown Sally a variety of creatives here. I've tried to break down her objections in my warm and hot ad sets. I can't really figure out what it is. I want you to take a stab at this. So in the DCO, you give Facebook all of your assets, and Facebook's going to then create a custom creative instantly on the fly for Sally. So Facebook's going to read all the probably way too much information that they have on Sally and all of their users, and they're going to look at your assets in a matter of milliseconds and say, okay, well, I think Sally's going to respond to this copy, this headline, this creative. Boom, let's show it to her right there in a matter of seconds. So that's where the DCO comes into play. That's why it's been so powerful, because sometimes as advertisers, as humans, we don't have the right creatives to break down every single potential buyer's objections. The DCO allows us to do that. So let's go ahead and set this up. I will note, my mistake, we need to delete this first, because you cannot turn on dynamic creative because it's already been published. So let's just click on action menu and delete that. Okay, so give it a second. There we go. So here we will click on Diamond Stability Zone, create ad set. Alrighty, and then we're gonna turn on dynamic creative. Yep, hit continue. Sweet. So choose your pixel, choose your event. So when it comes to audiences, remember, we want Facebook to have a chance to convert at any point in time. If Facebook feels like they're going to have a better chance at driving a conversion event with a personalized creative, by all means, let's let the robots do the work for us. So we're going to stack all of our retargeting audiences here. So this is a proprietary Ponder strategy that you are now learning, that I've been using for the past 9 months to drive phenomenal results in this crazy world of iOS 14.5, thanks to this last DCO stacked ad set. So custom audiences. Let's filter. We're going to select all of them. Literally all the ones that we created here. Actually, we don't want purchase though, because if not for this book bundle. All right, so I'm going to filter again, book bundle. So add to cart, perfect. All engaged Facebook, all engaged Instagram, video with captions, 95% video viewers. And see how naming it helps so much? Like, you know who's going to be in these audiences and the time frame they're in there. Okay, and then we want to exclude purchasers. So exclude purchase at 180 days, since this isn't really a consumable product. All right, go ahead and come down, uncheck that. Sweet. Then click on, so let's just name this first. So Ponder, so this is Diamond 4. The completion of the Diamond Stability Zone, Ponder DCO. This ad set, once you start scaling ads, or maybe you've already tried to scale ads or you've done it successfully, but you've hit a point where ads stop working, this ad set has been the sole reason that we were able in 60 days to generate $1.2 million off of $200,000 in ad spend with 2 campaigns. This ad set right here. It prevents ad fatigue. And at high budgets, it optimizes. All right, so we have our name. Click on new ad. There we go. Select your Instagram account. So now let's drop in creative. So single image or video. And now let's select these. So for example, we have, let's just use a picture and know that'd work good. We have this one, this thumbnail. We have that product photo that I really enjoy somewhere. Which one's this? Where is that product? Here it is. Okay. So you can see, you can select up to 10 images, do a few, hit continue. Sweet. Now let's add some videos. So we'll take that. So that's the one that we've uploaded for right now, but let's go ahead and upload the other ones that we have. So downloads. So remember, we downloaded these at the start. So we're going to do, I want a vertical one. That'd be a great format. So I'm going to upload the vertical format. Okay, there we go. So go ahead and click to select it. You can upload your other creatives. The more, the better here. So we'll hit continue. And now check this out. Turn on preview and start to scroll down. Leave optimized creative for each person on. We want Facebook to be personalized, right? And if you click see possible optimizations, it's going to explain what it could do. So now primary text. Let's go over to Ponder. If you haven't, generate a bunch of copy. So here we have this version. So we're going to go back to the ads. There we go. Just kind of break that out a little bit. Sweet. Then click add options. Now drop in another variation. There we go. So just kind of format this a little bit more. Awesome. There we go. Let's add in like more of a direct one. So we'll say save $20 on the creative book bundle today. Sweet. And then, so just drop in up to 5 variations of primary text. Here's a good pain agitate solution. So drop that in. And also remember, you can just copy this from the ads that you've already produced as well if you have a lot of confidence in it, but go to Ponder and generate a bunch of more variations here. The more variations, the better. All right. So just proofread, no last. Awesome. So now we have a few variations here. Remember, you can add up to 5. Now we're going to do headlines. So headlines, let's go to Ponder. Whoops. So copy. Awesome. All right, then descriptions. So we can go ahead and get some descriptions. Honestly, I'm fine with, let's just do one more. So did I generate another one? No, but what I did like was I like this headline. That's what it was. All right, description. So we could also do something like more direct response. Fast USA shipping if you order in the next 24 hours. All right, cool. And remember, a lot of this is going to get cut off. A lot of the link descriptions don't show. There we go. So now we need a URL. Paste that in. We can even do multiple buttons. So let's try adding get offer. Where are we at? Is get offer really not showing anymore? Yeah, get offer doesn't want to show in here. Wow, that's a new change, but learn more is a good one. So if you're doing leads, you could do sign up. Okay, so check this out. So this is how to view and also select your domain. So select your pixel and your domain and so forth. So make sure it matches the one that you're advertising. All right, so let's go ahead and hit, sorry, buddy. Let's go ahead and hit view more variations. So this is all of the possible combinations. So once again, shout out to Sally for being the example here. Let's say Sally, Facebook thinks that Sally might resonate with the product photo. And then let me actually open up all these here so I can show you. So let's say Facebook looks at all of Sally's data points and says, Sally's most likely to resonate with the product photo. Maybe she's like, maybe she added a cart, so maybe it was price. All right, well, she'll probably want the save $20 caption. How about the headline? Well, we know Sally was looking at different ways to become more creative and really unlock it. So probably this headline here, and then we'll just do this description since it's cut off. And then for the button, she already knows she doesn't need to learn more. She's been on the page, so shop now is the one to go to. So what Facebook will do will literally, boom, build the ad on the fly for you, just like that. So, and it's going to optimize it. So remember how I cropped it in the previous one? We can do that manually here, but Facebook will do that automatically. So let's do a square version just to tell Facebook, you know, this is preferred. We think this looks best. So save it. There. So now, maybe for this one as well, we'll do a vertical and we'll crop out like the white edges to make it fit in here, kind of bring it to the forefront. So Facebook will optimize these, but you can kind of give it a kickstart there. So the cool part, and don't worry if the face doesn't show up because Facebook will move it down. You could also preview it. So if we hit, so you could view it on desktop here. But if we do view more variations, if we click under view more variations under stories, you can see, check this out. This is a perfect one for Facebook stories. And then it would actually show the text right here. Like maybe someone engaged with Noah's fan page. So they know who he is already, but they're not sure about the book bundle. So Facebook would take this picture of Noah since they know the user knows who he is and then introduce the book bundle. So this DCO is incredibly powerful. And I know this was a very in-depth lesson, but this is the technicalities of Facebook that actually used to be 2 to 3 times more complicated a couple of years ago. And the unfortunate part, well, I guess not for us because it's our competition, but we see our competition still trying to follow those same standards of 2 to 3 years ago. And then they wonder why they're not getting results. So utilize these tools in correlation with the standard one. So let's go ahead, name this. So we're just going to name this one, number 4, Ponder DCO. And actually, just to be more specific, let's do the following. Book bundle DCO. There we go. All right. And then I'm just going to put it in this ad set too. So I clicked, let me highlight my cursor. I clicked here, and then I'm just going to paste it. All right. Now we publish. And for those of you at this part of the lesson, shout out to you. I've been recording for 11 hours today, and going through this, knowing how beneficial this is going to be for you and your business has made me so excited. I don't feel a bit of tiredness. So thank you. All right. Let's go take a look. We got everything. We got the formation, but now we need to import our ads to the stability zone. So this is how you would do it. Same way we did for formation. You click on the campaign here. You can go to ads and then select your retargeting ads. So if you remember, this was the carousel. Here's a direct response one. So I definitely want this image. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the glowing books image with this one. So I'm just going to select these 3 here, hit duplicate, existing campaign, stability zone. So Facebook will not allow you to duplicate this into a DCO. But watch what happens. So if you click and you hit add to all, and if you were to try to publish this, it would throw an error because for some reason, even though they don't let you, they added it. So just remove the DCO, and there you go. Hit duplicate. All right. Now we are good. So one thing as well with the DCO is you'll notice that we didn't do that existing post. That's because with all of the different assets, you can't copy the post ID because technically each time there's a new variation, it's a different post ID. Hence why you can't duplicate engagement. So we are ready to launch. We made it through. We built out a full-fledged Facebook ads campaign. And what I want you to take notice of and be proud of yourself for is look at how organized this is. We ran just the formation and stability zone for our main brand through November, December. And those 2 campaigns were the ones that turned 200,000 into 1.27 million. Just 2 campaigns. We didn't even have to update our ads because that DCO ad took, oh man, I'm pumped. So needless to say, let's go ahead and flip these on. So toggle. Your ads are now in review. So if it's a new ad account, it could take up to a day, 2 days. If it's for example, this ad account, if I come back in 5 minutes, these are going to be live. So what's next steps? Well, next steps is creative analysis. Why aren't your ads working, or why are they working? And if you find a couple that are performing really well, how do you continue to improve those? That's the next lesson. And that's where Ponder Sherlock really shines. So you saw how to reverse engineer your competitors, but watch what happens when you start to analyze your own ads. The light bulb turns on, and the opportunity of profitable and successful campaigns really opens up. So I will see you in the next lesson. Let these campaigns run for preferably 2 to 3 days. Collect data, and then if you're seeing really good results, go ahead and just leave them running while you do the analysis. If you're not seeing results, feel free to pause these. But what I don't want you to do is start to overanalyze things. For example, I'm going to teach you all about how to set up your KPIs and how to look at data, but I don't want you to do that yet. I just want you to collect some data first, so then I can show you in real time. So with that said, that was a 2-hour lesson. I will see you in the data analysis phase. Welcome to the lesson on analyzing your Facebook ads. I'm really excited to have you in this lesson because this is my favorite part of being a Facebook advertiser. The reason being is this was the difference maker when it came to me finding success and sustaining success with advertising. So with that said, if you are someone that's maybe found a bit of success, or you've launched ads and not seen any results and you don't know why, this is the key lesson of this course. If there's one lesson that I could subtract away from the course and say, watch this a million times and learn it, this is it right here. So without further ado, Zayed, cue the intro. How to analyze Facebook ads, aka answering the question, why isn't my ad working? The first thing that I want you to do is come into this lesson with no ego or bias about the work you've produced. It was a big mistake of mine where we might not be seeing results, and I was always, oh no, we had a professional designer create this creative. Oh no, the creative looks great. Just came into it with that excitement about the work that I had produced, whether it was a strategy, whether it was the creative, and ultimately I overlooked them as potential key areas of needing improvement or problems. So don't do that. Come into this lesson, use my mistake as a way to avoid it yourself, and look at every aspect of your advertising with a blank slate with no bias. All right, so now that we've cleared our egos, what we're gonna do now is start to do some math. So I'm going to put on my thinking cap here. I'm terrible at math. If you're good at math, you're going to love this. If you're not, hopefully the fact that I'm not great at it either and the way that I go about it resonates with you, and you can understand all this. So it's really not too difficult once you understand it, but at first you might feel a bit not overwhelmed, but just a bit confused. And if you do, especially if it's about terminology such as CPM or link CTR, go to Ponder and ask Milo, what is CPM? How does CPM work? How do I reduce CPM? Milo was created by us to help you with that exact issue of not understanding key terminology and key strategies and concepts of Facebook ads. So if you have any confusion, go ask. And also, go back to the very first lesson in this course where I do the animated whiteboard explainer, and you're going to see this broken down in a much more visual format and much more detail. So without further ado, the very first step is to define what's not working. I've had consulting calls or clients or students or YouTube questions that say, my ads they're not working. My question is always, well, why? What's not working about your ad? And a lot of times the response is, I'm not seeing results. Why? Right? There's always another layer. You got to you have to peel back all of the layers of the onion to get down to the center to understand the problem. It's just like when you break a bone. The doctor doesn't know what's wrong until they do an x-ray. Here we're about to perform an x-ray of your ads. So to define what's not working, the first question that I want you to ask is it because your costs are too high? 99% of the time, this is likely the reason. This is the high level reason. The costs are just too much. We're paying too much we're not getting enough traffic, so forth. All right, so when it comes to this, because this is most likely the issue, my costs are too high. Look at your CPM. CPM, once again, go ask Milo what CPM is, but CPM is a cost per 1,000 impressions. This is how much you pay to show your ad 1,000 times. CPM directly influences all of the correlated costs below it. So we'll look at cost per click. We'll look at cost per result, your cost per purchase, so forth. CPM is the main driving factor of all of your costs. All right, so CPM influences everything. CPM is the most important cost-related metric to be looking at. There's a big misconception out there, though, that CPM can't be influenced. This isn't true, and this was one of the more exciting things that I found out as I went super deep into the algorithms and the formulas behind these costs and Facebook ads a couple years ago. This excited me because if I can influence CPM, I can influence everything else that is costing us potential profitability or revenue. So one thing that I would recommend you do is you go to the Ponder Coaching Vault. And what you'll see is there's a lesson here, a live lesson called How to Decrease CPMs. And this was actually a live coaching call that I did a little while back with students on the call asking live questions, probably asking questions that you might have. And what I showed is that it is actually possible to influence your CPM. So what you'll see is in the matter of about 1.5, 2 weeks, I took my CPM from 46 to 37, resulting in a 19% decrease in my costs, a 95% decrease in my cost per initiated checkout, and a 52% decrease in my cost per click, all because I influenced my CPM. So I highly recommend first going you can watch this lesson, but definitely go check out this coaching call. You're going to see a live case study that I did on reducing CPMs. And so when it comes to influencing your CPMs, we'll write CPM here. There's really three main factors that I want you to focus on, all right? It's going to be quality ranking, engagement rate ranking, and conversion rate ranking. These are all columns in Facebook. So if you go to customize your columns, you can add these three. And these are three very big players when it comes to Facebook deciding how much they're going to charge you to show your ad. And what's interesting is Facebook even says for those advertisers that have above average, I'll just abbreviate that, above average in all of these, they're going to receive essentially pro-rated placements, which means Facebook will actually charge you less than direct competitors because your ad is better. And remember, it all comes down to Facebook wanting their users to have a good experience on their platform. So quality is actually made up of both engagement and conversion rate ranking. So let's break these down. Conversion rate ranking. What does this mean? When someone clicks on your ad and lands on your website, how often do they take the objective? For example, if your objective is a lead, what's the conversion rate into a lead? If it's a purchase, what's the conversion rate to a purchase? Facebook doesn't want to send traffic to pages that don't convert because ultimately they know that advertiser is likely going to stop advertising because they're not making money or getting results. The other reason being is there's a reason that your landing page isn't converting. Maybe it's the wrong audience. Maybe the creative doesn't align with the web page. If that's the case, Facebook doesn't want to show it, once again, because it plays into the overall quality. Engagement rate ranking. This comes back to the 3 E's: entertain, educate, and engage. You're going to knock this one out of the park. You focus on that. You focus on putting a smile on someone's face and making sure they share it. This is going to be really good. And then quality ranking. So Facebook doesn't obviously release all of the variables that go into this, but they do note that engagement rate ranking and conversion rate ranking are a portion of quality ranking. So go watch that coaching call. You're going to see another strategy that I used to reduce my CPM, but ultimately these three are just going to make such a big, big difference for you. Okay, so when it comes to CPM, let's say your CPM is like $50, $70, $100. Start by focusing on these three aspects. Obviously, there's things like competition that plays into it and so forth, But remember, if you can knock these three out of the park, Facebook will charge you less than your competitors who have lesser quality rankings. All right. So is it because your costs are too high? Likely yes. Okay. So what is the cause and effect? Well, how does CPM influence the rest of the costs? Let's look at it like this. So CPM, and then you have a link click-through rate. So what is link click-through rate? Once again, go ask Milo. But in the meantime, link click-through rate means what is the percentage of people that click the link to your website out of 100 that saw your ad? So if 100 see your ad and 5 click, well, that is a, that's going to be a 5% link CTR. If 5 people click. If one person clicks out of 100, that's a 1%, and so forth. Okay, so you have your link CTR that is influenced. That's kind of coupled, I should say, with CPM. And now you have your cost per click. So this is the one that, a mistake that a lot of newer advertisers make is before anything, they go look at their cost per click. But what they don't factor in is that cost per click is directly influenced by your link CTR and your CPM. All right, and once again, this process of analysis and these random terminology and buzzwords, it sounds confusing, but you need to learn this. I'm not going to say that you're going to learn this overnight. It took me years to really get to the point where I feel I can say I've almost mastered the process of data analysis. So don't worry if you feel confused. Ponder's here to help you with this. And in this next slide here, I'm going to show you exactly how CPC, your cost per click, and then your cost per result. So your cost per purchase, cost per initiated checkout, cost per lead is all once again influenced by CPM. All right. So let's go ahead and break this down. Okay, in this example, we have an advertiser with a $50 CPM. So 1,000 impressions cost this advertiser $50. Okay, so you can plug in whatever your CPM is right here. So to acquire 10,000 impressions, this advertiser would have to spend $50 because that's a CPM, and then they took 10,000 impressions divided by 1,000 to get the multiple, which would be $500 in ad spend, all right? So $50 CPM to get 10,000 impressions would cost about $500 in ad spend. All right, so if you're confused, just take a second, understand how this math works. All right, 50, 10,000 impressions, $500 in ad spend. Now let's say that their ads that they launched have a 1% link click-through rate. With 10,000 impressions, if 1% click through, that's 100 clicks. If you take $500 in ad spend, divided by 100 clicks, you have a $5 cost per click. All right. So what I would recommend you do is actually do this math yourself. It's going, for me, when I watch people do it on screen, it doesn't make sense. But once I do it myself and take 30 minutes to learn the formula behind it, then there's something that clicks. So if you're the same, go ahead, pause this and do it. So as you see, the CPM directly influenced how much we have to spend in ad spend, which directly influenced the final formula to calculate our cost per click. So now let's break this down and say that we have a $10 CPM, all right? Let's say that we still want to get 10,000 impressions. So what we have to do is spend $10 times, so we'll take 10,000 impressions divided by 1,000, since that's what CPM stands for. So 10, I'm going to do this math here. So we'll do 10 times 10,000 divided by 1,000 equals 100. Okay, so here we spent 100 in ad spend to acquire 10,000 impressions. Let's say that we maintain that 1% link click-through rate. So we didn't really make any substantial optimizations here. Same link click-through rate. So that's going to give us, 10,000 impressions with 1% is 100. So we'll get 100 clicks to our website. Now, to calculate cost per click, we're going to take the $100 in ad spend divided by 100, which 100 clicks, which leaves us with $1 cost per click. Hopefully, you can see that we did not change anything besides our CPM. And now look at the difference. We just had, what is that, 500% reduction in our cost per click. So now if you were to go spend 500, you're sending 500 times the amount of traffic. So if you can reduce your CPM, you will reduce all of the associated costs along with it. So let me jump over to this next slide here and show you this. So when it comes to CPM, obviously in decreasing, that's a big game changer. But let's say that you're already at like a relatively good CPM, $20, $25, and you've already have all of the great quality rankings and so forth. What can you do? Well, now it's time to focus on the lower portions of the formula. So let's say your CPM's already looking decent. How can you improve your associated costs? How can you make it so your costs aren't, quote unquote, too high? So here we have an example of someone with a 1% link click-through rate. All right, so in that previous one we just did, we sent 10,000 impressions, 1% is 100 clicks. Now let's say this advertiser has on their website about a 3% conversion rate. If 100 people click over, that would equal 3 sales. And this is just an average order value from one of my previous brands, so about $94 per product. You can insert your product price here. That would result in $282 in sales. All right, so we didn't alter the CPM. We didn't do anything like that. All we did was just look at link click-through rate now. All right, so what if we were to improve our ad? What if we improved our copy? What if we improved our scroll stopper? What if we improved the 3 E's and we bumped our ad up from a 1% link click-through rate just simply to a 3% link click-through rate? What happens? All right, well, we're going to stay with 10,000 impressions so you can see nothing changes here. The only thing that changed is we improved our link click-through rate from 1% to 3%. So now we send 300 clicks to our website, still have the same conversion rate, so nothing on the website was optimized, but now check this out. 9 sales, $94, $282 in sales just went to $846 by improving our link click-through rate. So let's take this further. What if you took your 3% link click-through rate to 5%? Boom, $1,400 in sales. What about 10%? That's where it gets crazy. $2,820 in sales versus a 1% link click-through rate with $282 in sales. So you can see just by improving your link click-through rate, you get a huge improvement in all of the following associated costs. So work backwards and look at the first key piece that I want you to ask yourself is your ads not working because your costs are too high? If so, well, how do you reduce it? What is causing your cost to be high? Is it CPM? All right, well, improve with the 3 E's. Is it maybe your CPM's good, but it's just too much to spend cost per click. It's costing you too much to get people over your website. Improve your link click-through rate. And that's how data analysis flows. It's all about breaking it down, peeling it back, and looking at the exact causes and the effects. So now you're asking yourself, well, how do I improve my link click-through rate? Let's say that you've got your CPMs down, you've improved your ads, but you need to improve your link click-through rate and get more people over to your website to generate results. So I'm going to take you through a real life, essentially like a case study that we did here at Ponder. So the problem was we had launched a client's image ad and we saw no sales and a lower than average link click-through rate. So as a team here at Ponder, we had to sit down and figure out why that was, why the ad isn't working. The solution to that is creative analysis. And this is how to do that. So this is the ad that we launched. So this was a render that we had made for the product. It's a phenomenal shake for gut health and so forth. And we launched this based on some feedback from the client and one of the angles that they recommended. And the link click-through rate was bad. Cost per click was like in the $3 range. Link click-through rate was less than 1%. Our CPM wasn't bad. And so we need to figure out why this ad wasn't working and then obviously create ads that did. So why do you think that this ad didn't work? And you can pause this and think of 3 reasons why. So when I did a live call and I broke this down, the main points that the students said were improve immunity is vague and it doesn't align. Agreed. Image doesn't convey context or benefit, and no people or no faces. So I want to show you how to actually use Ponder to help you with this. So if you come over to Ponder and you go to the Sherlock analysis tool, you can upload your creative here. You can also do it with videos. With images, let's go ahead and pull this up. So this is the image that we ran, as you saw, and here's the AI analysis. So the first thing that stuck out right away was what the AI assumed was in the object, what the object was, and what the scene contained. Look at the topmost result. The AI is 96% confident that this is a cosmetic product, or that it's deodorant, or, I mean, there's a plant, but the main two products that this AI thinks it is cosmetics and deodorant. This is a gut health supplement that tastes like a chocolate shake. So by using this tool, what you will be able to see, and what we saw right away, is that the users on Facebook that we advertised to had no idea what this was. Maybe, let's say that we were targeting gut health, and maybe the user would have loved to try this product, but when they're scrolling their feed really quick, they're going to see this and they're likely thinking that this is cosmetics, which they don't have interest in, or deodorant. They're not going to stop because, oh, wow, that's a gut health drink. This is for me, and so forth. So it's very important when it comes to creatives to understand that, especially images, that the image should convey what the product is, what the product does, and who's the product for right from the start. And this does not do it. So let's break this down a little bit further, and I'll show you what we did here to make a big improvement. So these, what we started by doing was looking at our competitors, and I highly recommend doing this. Look at the top competitors in your space. If you have an ad that's not working, go look at your competitors' ads and figure out, just sort by impressions and take their top ones. Here's some top ads. So you can see this one here, Ample, Munich, and then this is Huel. All right. Anything come to mind when you see this? So what does Ponder, so we just looked at this one, but what does Ponder say about the competitors' creatives? So let's go jump back over to Ponder here, and let me show you what Ponder says about those creatives. So here we have the Huel breakdown, and right away, you'll see that pizza, food, person, and then a bowl. Pizza. If you are hungry, pizza is I think it's like one of the top favorites of like the entire population. Like if you ask someone what their favorite food is, it's pizza. This brand right away correlated the taste in the positive emotions of someone seeing pizza to this ad. So right away, scroll stopper. The other thing it does is I don't think this is cosmetics or deodorant, right? I can clearly tell that this is a meal. And then aside from that, if we look at the text breakdown, the world's #1 complete food, over 150 million meals sold from as little as $2.51 per meal. So you can see that the AI is picking up the really standout text, which explains what it does. If we look at this one that we created, D-line Lee Nourish meal. It is all over the place. The eyes don't know where to go. And it doesn't correlate. Like I can't tell that this is a meal replacement shake or a gut health shake when I look at this picture. Here, I know it's food, and I know what it is. I know who it's for. I know what it does. All right, so let's go take a look at the next one here. So you can see that this is very easy to consume. Yeah, no pun intended. So let's look at this one right here. So this is, I think the company is like called Munich. So what we'll see is that, once again, it picks up what it is: juice, beverage, drink, smoothie, milkshake, dessert. People know what this is. They don't think it's deodorant. They don't think it's cosmetics. If we look at the text, tastes like dessert, but helps you lose weight and balance blood sugar. Right away, the most important text and what it does stands out. So you can see 3 E's, and it also, what it is, what it does, who's it for, stands out right from the start with our competitors' ads. So we have one more here. But first, let's touch on what did this teach us? Ads have to be consumable during the scroll. Can a Facebook user answer the following after scrolling past your ad? The one that's not performing or not working? Can they tell you what the product is, what it does, and who it's for? If not, it's likely that ad is not going to work. So let me ask you this question. Is this a good ad? Answer yes or no to yourself right now. So let's go take a look at this in Ponder here. And it was kind of a trick question because that's a tricky one. There's no text or really anything. But take a look at the results of this. And this is by a company called Brewmate. You probably heard of them. They're everywhere, crushing it right now. This is one of their number one ads in terms of the amount of people that have seen it over the past month. And if the AI takes a look at it here, you'll see that immediately it knows alcohol, beverage, drink, beer, bottle, lager. Right from the start, no one's thinking that this is deodorant or cosmetics. If you enjoy a nice ice cold beer, you know what this is. Even though there's really only 2 colors here, there's no labels, there's nothing, there's no text. You can see it try to pick up a little bit of the text right in there, but it's a very basic image. But when you look at it through the AI, you know exactly why it works. So upload your creative to Ponder and look at the winning characteristics. Does it make sense with what you're advertising? Is it what you're advertising? And if not, that is likely the number one reason that you are not seeing the results that you want. And when it comes to our this example here, they did a great job. They didn't have text, no people, no bright colors, yet it's very consumable because you can see the breakdown in the AI. It explains exactly what Facebook users are seeing subliminally. How about this one? Is this a good ad? Think about it. Another kind of trick question. Yes, they did a great job, and here's why. When we look at the face analysis, you'll see face 1, 19 through 31, and a breakdown of it. Now we know that if we were to get into CBD space, this is likely a demographic that we would want to be targeting. If this is their number one ad, and this is a very, very successful company, they're not running at low budgets. This is likely their best performing demographic if this is their number one scale. So by uploading it to Ponder and looking at it through AI, we can get a breakdown of even their target demographic. So maybe you're creative, maybe you are advertising it to 60 plus, whereas the competitors that are finding success advertising in the space are advertising to 19 through 31 year olds. Or maybe you were advertising in a way that was negative in terms of the sentiment, showing someone that was hurt or tired and so forth. You can see facial analysis. Mouth is open, eyes are open, appears to be surprised, but they're not sad. Whereas if you look at some ads, which I'll show you right here, if we look at an ad like this, let's go to facial analysis. You can see it appears to be sad. Facebook doesn't like this. And I took this one from a company, another CBD company on the ads library, and this was like their lowest impression ad, which tells me it's not working. Facebook doesn't like it. And if you look, the key difference between this and something like this is going to be the facial analysis. You can see same age range. So they have the targeting right, but appears to be sad, not smiling. The other thing that I found interesting is how CBD and MD did the following. So when we go to facial analysis, we can see there's 2, obviously, and the second age range is 5 through 15. So what this is telling me is that they've really pinpointed younger parents as a demographic. So you resonate with this. And if you look at the object and scene, you'll see tattoo, beard, so forth. And it really makes sense why they did this, because this age range, they know that people with tattoos likely use CBD. It's maybe they looked at their demographics and they're like, all right, well, we know exactly who our most profitable customer is. This age range, a lot of them have a beard, a lot of them have tattoos. The other reason I thought this was good is it's kind of like the stay-at-home dad or mom feel with the apron and the bright blue colors, so forth. So it really resonates, and we figured this out just by looking at the AI analysis. So if you have an ad that's not working, go look at your competitors, your top competitors, and scan their top Facebook ad creatives. You're going to figure out the exact characteristics that you should be including in your ad to find success. So they did a great job here. Lesson: a great ad quickly reveals a company's ideal customer. So here it is. That's another great thing is before launching ads, scan your competitors, and you're not going to have to spend as much on targeting, on figuring out who your target demographic is. Late 20s, early 30s, parents of child aged 5 to 10, Cajun apron, tattoos, beard, light colors relates to a wide range of individuals. So do you think this is a good ad? Yes. So this is an art company called Society 6. They sell a bunch of different art prints. But art collectors immediately know it's art, and Star Wars fans know who it is. So ultimately, the result of your creative come down to, does it align with your demographic? And if you are into Star Wars, you immediately know who this is. And if you're into art, well, you can tell the AI knows that it's art. So there's a 96% chance that 96 out of 100 impressions on Facebook also know it's art. So Star Wars times art, boom. You can see why this is a very top performing ad for Society 6. So great job. So think about this, and when it comes to analysis, there's no complex like hacks or tips of like adjusting whatever it might be. All of these ad hacks that you might hear online, it doesn't come down to that any longer. Those did work like 2-3 years ago, but that's not what it's about nowadays. Now to find success with advertising, it comes down to who can figure out the key points of optimization in their ads and then actually perform and execute and implement upon that. By looking at things like your CPM and your link click-through rate, you can influence all of the rest of your costs. By doubling your link click-through rate, you're going to double your revenue. You're going to double your results. You're going to reduce your cost per click by half. There's the two key pieces of data that the team and I here at Ponder look at: CPM, link click-through rate. So focus on getting those down. Once you have your ads to a point where your CPMs is as low as you can possibly get it, and your link click-through rate is as high as you possibly can get it, and you've done tons of variations and revisions, and you're at that point, well then now you can be confident that your ads are honed in, your targeting's honed in, and it comes down to the website. And then from that point, you need to work on the website side of things by kind of doing the same exact process. But when it comes to analysis, so you've run your ads for a few days at this point, look at these two pieces of data and figure out which one you need to focus on improving. Is your CPM low? Well, focus on improving your creative. Run it through Ponder, figuring out if all of the characteristics align with your competitors' top ads and their characteristics. If not, alter your ads until they do and relaunch it and tell me, and just watch what happens. It's pretty mind-blowing at the dramatic increase in results that you're going to see by aligning those characteristics of your creative and performing creative analysis. So with that said, this is not just a learn and forget type of ordeal with analysis. This is what you should be doing at least a couple times a week when you're scaling. You're going to run into points of your advertising career where you find something that starts crushing it. And then a few months in, maybe a few weeks in, it slowly stops working, and you have to figure out why. This is the process that you can use to prevent any downfall of your brands. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this lesson on Facebook ads analysis. Improve your CPM, improve your link click-through rate, and you will improve your results. I will see you in the next lesson. Welcome to How to Scale Facebook Ads. If you're in this lesson, I'm really excited for you because that means you found some success and likely profitability with your advertising campaign. So first of all, congratulations. That is a huge achievement. And in this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to take it to that next level. Let's get into it. How to scale your Facebook ads, the easiest part of Facebook advertising. Did I get you there? You might be like, "What? Did he just say scaling is the easiest part of Facebook ads?" Yes, it is actually the easiest part of an advertiser's job, and I'll explain why here. So, a little proof that we know what we're doing when it comes to scaling. This is an email that I received. So, what's the date today? So, about 3.5 months ago. What Shopify does each year is they send out an email to the top 1% of all of their Shopify stores. And blessed to be part of that this year. So our e-commerce brand, I have a business partner, and our e-commerce brand is in the top 1% of all of Shopify. There's over 1 million stores, and 95% of the traffic came from Facebook ads using the Ponder Diamond. So this was the email. It was pretty unreal to read this, just thinking about the progress we had made. in the fact that we're in the top 1%. It's just, so first off, I'd like to personally congratulate, and that was our brand name. We're currently in the midst of a business deal, so I can't state this stuff, but first off, I'd like to personally congratulate our brand name on being one of the highest growth brands on Shopify in 2020. The recent growth rate of our brand name is in the top 1% of over 1 million brands. Mind-blowing. I want to make sure you have all the tools and information you need to keep up the momentum, and then that's when they go to Shopify Plus. If you're not familiar with Shopify Plus, basically it's a Shopify subscription that's like $4,000 a month, but you can do a lot of really great things in terms of optimization at the checkout and so forth. You just have a lot more control. So for the brands in the top 1%, it does make sense to upgrade as long as you have a strategy behind it. But main point here is the email. I just want to show you we do know what we're doing when it comes to scaling, and it was a wild email to receive. So we were able to generate 1.25 million in 60 days using this Ponder Diamond strategy, and specifically the scaling strategies that you're going to learn here. So our Facebook ad spend was about 260,000. On Shopify, we did about $1 million, and what is that? Let's just call it $1 million. And then on Amazon, we did about 200,000. And the reason I did list this here and as part of this number is we weren't really running Amazon ads, and our listings were relatively basically brand new. And so the fact that we did this tells us that a lot of the traffic was landing on our Shopify and then just going to search for our brand on Amazon to order it with Prime. So this was a lot of run of traffic from Shopify. Overall though, 260,000 into about 1.25 million. You can see here we peaked at about a $75,000 day, which that is a day I won't forget until we double it this year. It was wild though. I mean, I had to turn my phone, all of my notifications off, at least from Shopify, because my phone kept going dead because it was go ding, 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 ding. It was nuts. I think that day specifically, we spent around 18,000 on Facebook ads, and we also ran like an email campaign and so forth, but mainly Facebook ads, using two campaigns in the Ponder Diamond Stability Zone, and two campaigns, the Ponder Diamond Stability Zone and the Diamond Formation. That's all we used during the 60-day period, and that's all we're still using. And so you can see down here, I mean, these days right here are still about $10,000 to $15,000 days. That $75,000 day though just really made a big spike, and you can see we maintained an average of over 30,000 a day for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, all from Facebook ads. So just want to show you that what is capable with this strategy. It's a very simplistic strategy, which was one of the main purposes behind it, and it works extremely well when you start to scale. So it might have surprised you that scaling Facebook ads is actually much easier than getting started when you're testing and optimizing and just trying to achieve profitable ads. So if you're still someone that hasn't hit the point of scale, but you're watching this to get some motivation, get excited, just note that what you are doing right now to try and get your ads to the point of profitability is much more difficult than when you reach it and then you're just scaling it. So testing and optimizing, aka when you're launching and getting started, it requires a lot more work. You're producing creatives, you're writing new copy, you're optimizing your website, you're split testing thumbnails, analyzing data, you're doing all of this. And once you start scaling, it's not to say you won't be doing those, because you consistently are, but 90% of your focus is going to transition to adequately adjusting budgets on the formation, diamond formation, and the diamond stability zone, and then refreshing campaigns with new creatives. It's really going to be your focus while you scale. During those 60 days, we didn't do a ton of split testing or optimizing the website, and not even a ton of like brand new creatives. The reason being is because to get to the point where you're ready to scale, all of that's really in place. And so once you start to scale, it really transitions to a focus on just adjusting budgets and refreshing the campaigns with any new creative. So duplicate slide. But I want to talk about now, first of all, is your campaign ready to scale? And the way that you can ask yourself this is if you can hit your targets. Do you know your targets? So I put together this target calculator. This is also going to be in that Ponder pre-launch checklist form. Over here in scaling targets, and I will zoom in on this so you can all see. All right, so this is the scaling target calculator. Before going into a scale, you have to ensure that you can stay profitable. You should also ensure that you're prepared for the worst. You're prepared for rises in CPM, drops in link click-through rate. You want to be ready and know that you can handle anything that's going to come. And the way to do this is by prepping and really knowing your targets. So in the previous lessons, we talked about reducing CPM and improving link click-through rate and so forth. And in this calculator, what I want you to do is run some estimates. So the first thing that you'll do is put in your target cost per acquisition. So let's say if we look back to that campaign we ran for those 60 days, our target cost per acquisition was around $40. We knew if we hit a cost per acquisition of $40 that we would be profitable. So you can put in whatever your target cost per acquisition is here. And now let's start going through the CPM. So the first thing that I want you to do is take your current CPMs. So at that time, our CPMs were 15, and we had link click-through rates of about, I think our average across all of our campaigns were like 2.9%. So you can see your cost per click was phenomenal. And to get 100 visits on our website, we paid about $51. Our conversion rate was about 1.9. So you can see, leading up to the scale, we were very profitable. So our estimated cost per acquisition was about $27. And if I remember correctly, leading up to that point, that's like right on the head. So knowing where we're at before the scale really helps us start to estimate what's going to happen during the scale. So as you start to scale, if you haven't already, a couple of things that I can almost guarantee. Your CPM will go up, your link click-through rate will go down, and all of the correlated costs will be modified accordingly. So if you remember in the last lesson, we talked about how CPM and link click-through rate really influence all the costs. If those go up and one goes down, you'll see the rest of it really change as well. So the reason behind the rising cost of CPM is, number one, you're going to start spending more, which means Facebook's going to have to go into smaller audiences, different audiences, more competitive audiences, which brings up your cost. The other thing is you're going to be focusing a lot on retargeting, which smaller audiences, once again, in your retargeting funnel in the diamond stability zone, are going to drive up your cost. So you are going to see the CPM go up. In very, very rare occasions, like 1 out of 20, I might see the CPM go down, but don't expect that. The other reason that your link click-through rate is likely to go down is because as Facebook starts going broader, your ads aren't going to be as targeted or as aligned to, in correlation to what they currently are with your existing targeting. So they go broad, Facebook goes broad to reach the masses with your massive budget, and your link click-through rate usually drops accordingly. So what I want you to do is estimate what would happen if you face 10% increases, 20% increases, and 30% increases in your CPM. I then want you to estimate if you saw about a 0.3% reduction in your link click-through rate. Let's do a 0.5% reduction in link click-through rate, and then a 1% reduction in link click-through rate. Let's run through these numbers and see what happens to our estimated cost per acquisition. So here, so that would be 10% of 15 is 1.5. So we're going to put 16.5. Up a bit, and now let's drop this down to 2.6 to align with that reduction. Look at that. Look how much that cost per acquisition rose, and it narrowed the difference between target and estimated. So now we have an idea. Okay, well, if this happens, I mean, we're still going to be profitable, but it's starting to get a bit more concerning. So now, what is 16.5 times 0.2? So 3.3. So 16.5. So 19.8. So let's say our CPM bumps up to 19.8, and now we're facing another 0.5% reduction in link click-through rate. Boom, look at that. Now we are no longer profitable. So when it comes to running these numbers, you can see these what seem like minor increases or decreases and these top two correlating pieces of data really affect the end result. The other thing, obviously, that's going to come into play is conversion rate. And once again, as you go broad, you might actually see a drop in conversion rate. So let's say that dropped to 1.4 because we're going very broad here. Target cost per acquisition is no longer profitable. When we started running these numbers, you saw it's 27, it's now 67. And we haven't even done this right here. So like, let's estimate the worst. What if the CPM, I mean, it's super competitive, Black Friday or like time of Black Friday, and it jumps to $35? What if our top ad stops working? What if our conversion rate, let's say it did go up a little bit. I forgot to put percent. So you can see just a absolutely massive difference. So you have to know your numbers. Where can you remain profitable? In order to scale your budgets and really know how things are performing, you have to know all of these right here. This also gives you a very good way to understand how conversion rate would influence things. Let's say that we work on optimizing our website and we can get that to 3%. Let's say that we use Ponder Sherlock and analyze a lot of top creatives, keep testing, so forth. We get this up to a 2.3. And let's say then we focus on the 3 E's. We bring the CPM down. We really create some engaging, entertaining, and educating focused ads. We get this down to 27. Boom. We're back in profitability zone. And the other way to ensure that you stay profitable while scaling is a method off of Facebook. So it's a method of upselling. And you have to look at your product line and think, what can I do? Can I create a bundle that allows me to get my my break-even cost per acquisition up to 55 at a $15 profit addition on top of that? That'd be great, because then we're very profitable at this phase. What if I sold a bundle, and then after they bought, I could get 50% of people to convert on a amazing upsell offer. And that might add another, let's say, $4 to my that would add another $4 profit availability to my target CPA. Look at what can happen when you know these numbers and you can prep for it. So prep for the worst, run the numbers as though things are just going to jump in price, understand what you have to achieve to remain profitable during a scale, and you're going to be much more comfortable going into it. Now that you've run your numbers, you know your targets, and you know if you can hit your targets, let's go to the next piece of criteria, step 1.B. Are you ready to scale? Ask yourself, am I ready to scale? And then here is essentially a checklist that you got to mark off all the boxes. Number 1, I will produce new creatives every week. It's one thing to get to a point of scale, but it's a whole entirely different thing to maintain a scale. And maintaining a scale for weeks, for months, even for days, really requires one main thing: a constant refresh of high-performing creatives. As you scale, you're going to start to run into audience fatigue. So let's say you have a couple main interests or lookalike audiences that just are working really well with your current set of ads. What happens when you've really advertised to everybody in those audiences, or at least everyone that is likely to purchase? You're going to see your results start to diminish. And so your option then is to go broad. So use new interests, new lookalikes, do broad targeting. But there's a good chance that your creatives no longer align to these new audiences. So by producing creatives that have different marketing angles and so forth, you can test ahead of time. And so when fatigue starts to kick in, your results start to diminish, you can quickly drop in one of these pre-prepared creatives and maintain the scale. Next. So as long as you're ready to do that, check that box. Next, I will allow time for attribution and optimization. With iOS 14.5, it makes it difficult to be patient because attribution's taking longer. There's a lot of attributions that's missing. And so it's tough to say, this ad generated this sale. You have to give it some time. Use tools like Google Analytics, use tools like Shopify, but you got to give it time you got to give Facebook time for them to get the data, understand where it came from, and then optimize your ads. So When I used to say, if you're scaling, you could really optimize correctly the same day even. Now we're waiting 2 to 3 days, preferably longer, if we're really confident in it. And that way we're going to make the best decisions when it comes time to decide what's next for our campaigns, whether it's raising budgets, shutting off ads, launching new ones, so forth. So you have to find the patience, and it can be a bit nerve-wracking if it's your first scale. And then finally, I will be able to maintain production capacity. So this is a business angled question for you. Can you maintain inventory? Can you maintain good shipping times? Can you maintain good customer support during a scale? Do not overscale. That is the demise of any brand. I've made this mistake personally multiple times before. If you end up overscaling to where you cannot support it, you're going to have angry customers. And Facebook then runs a survey on their newsfeed asking about their experience with your company. And if enough people say it was bad, you will be banned from advertising, which ultimately prevents you from trying to achieve your goals. And if you own the brand as well, then your brand's main source of traffic is out of the window. So don't overscale. The short-term profit almost always turns into a net long negative, because once chargebacks start flowing in, you're paying the fees on top of that. It's a mess. Just do not do that. Check it off. Ensure you can maintain production capacity, and you're prepared for that. So make sure you're good on these three. So what is my process? Like, how do I actually manage my ads during a scale? And here is how I do so. So let's go ahead and hop over into my Miro board for this. So this is how I actually scale my ads, how I manage them in an ads manager, in the ads manager. So over here, let's first go through, let's start up here. So as you're familiar with now, the Ponder Diamond Formation, which is your cold traffic, and then you have the Ponder Diamond Stability Zone, which is your retargeting. The diamond formation is just going to evolve over time. You don't have to create a bunch of duplicates and so forth. Just evolve the campaign with your scale. So here's how we do this process. So as I mentioned, you should be creating new creatives every single week. Analyze creatives, your competitors, your top performers with Ponder Sherlock. Optimize your own ads, and then produce new creatives, new optimized creatives. Once you have produced a new creative, here's what we do. We take it and we use our Diamond Stability Zone to test our ads. So we just drop it into Diamond 1, which is our warm traffic in the Diamond Stability Zone. The reason being is we find this audience is mostly correlated to our cold traffic in terms of what type of ads they respond to, or what type of ads they convert from. And so it's a great place to test ads, because it's not going to affect the optimization negatively of your diamond formation, and it's a very, very cost-efficient way to test ads and still churn sales or leads. So we take our new creative, we just drop it into this ad set, and then a couple days in, we take a look at it. Did the creative perform? If yes, then we duplicate it to our diamond formation, which I'll explain here in a second. And then if no, we just pause the ad, so it never leaves one. We just shut it off, leave it. So if it did perform, if it was profitable, if we saw a great link click-through rate, great CPMs, we're going to duplicate it to all of the diamond formation ad sets. So as you saw in the launch, how to duplicate an ad, we just duplicate it to diamond formation and we select all ad sets. And then what we also do is in the Diamond Stability Zone, in Diamond 4, the dynamic creative, we just take the individual assets. So the copy that we used for it, the thumbnail, and the video, and then we just drop it into the DCO to see if we can get some improvements, individually with each piece of the creative. So that one's pretty straightforward, but let's start to break this down. What happens once it lands in the diamond formation? Because a lot of confusion arises when people ask, well, how do you scale your cold traffic? Like, what if I create some lookalikes? Do I have to duplicate the campaign? No, this is how we do it. So what we do is we have 4 ad sets in our diamond formation. Ad set 1 is made up of only interests. Ad set 2 is made up of only lookalikes. Ad set 3 is used for audience testing. ad set 4 is our broad targeting. So in ad set 1, so let's actually, first, I guess what you're probably wondering is before scale, what do I do with my existing ad sets? So maybe you're asking yourself, well, I'm ready to scale, but I already have this campaign with some interest in it, and I don't know what to do because maybe I have 5, 6, 7 interests that are performing. Create a new ad set and take all of the interests and just stack them. So put them all in one ad set right here, ad set number 1. Okay? Ad set number 2 is going to be made up of lookalikes. So in order, if you haven't run any lookalikes yet, you're going to test them, which is going to be done with ad set number 3. So this is the process. Let's say you've got your interest stacked, and then you create, and I'll map this out for you so you can. So maybe you created the view content, and you did a 1% to 10% lookalike audience. So you create your first lookalike. And you're wondering how to get this running in the diamond formation. So step number 1 is what you can do is simply take, let me just change this marker here. So you can take this lookalike and create an ad set number 3. You can call it audience test and just run it in here. Use the same ads that you're using elsewhere and see how it performs. Did this audience perform? Was it successful or did it fail? So right here. So after testing it, and let me zoom in so you can read this. This ad set is used for testing new audiences. For example, if I wanted to test 95% lookalike, I would create a new ad set 3, test it, and if it performs, I'd stack into ad set number 2. So we have a lookalike. Did it perform? Was it profitable? Yes, no. If no, we simply just pause this ad set and label it retired. If yes, we ask, well, what type of audience is it? Is it a lookalike? Well, yes. Okay. So then we're going to add it to our lookalike ad set right there. So ad set number 2, we're going to stack it in here. And if it's the first lookalike, it's just going to be alone in here. So then let's say a couple days down the road, we're like, all right, it's time to test. We have enough add to carts. Let's test the add to cart 1 to 10% lookalike audience. So we do the same process. We drop it in. We create a new ad set number 3 labeled with the lookalike name. Then we run the test. 2 to 3 days of data. Was it good? Was it bad? If bad, retire it. If good, stack it. So we'll still keep, if this one's already in here, we're going to keep all of them. We're just stacking them on top of one another. So this is the process of how we introduce new audiences into our currently scaling campaign. And it's the same process for interest. So let's say you test an interest called Netflix. You're going to follow this exact same procedure. You're going to create a new ad set number 3. You're going to run a test on it, or just collect some data on it over the course of a couple days. Was it profitable? Did it fail? Same process, except here, what type of audience? The interest. So now we're going to add it to ad set number 1. So as you can see, and then even if, let's say after you stack it, you still retire ad set number 3. So you're going to have eventually like a ton of ad set number 3s, but they're all going to be labeled retired. And that way you can filter them out easily. And you can also go back and look. Maybe you're like 5 weeks down the road, you're like, did I test the add to cart 1 to 10%? And you can go check and you'll see it and you'll see the data right there. So labeling it with the word retired in the ad set name is just a very good way to filter things. And you should only ever have one ad set number 3 running at a time, at a given time. We don't want to introduce too many to really throw off or cause too much fluctuation in the optimization of our entire campaign. All right, and then number 4 here. So number 4, ad set number 4 is going to be broad. You can, if you know your customers like above a certain age or a certain gender, you can narrow it like that. But by broad, I just mean demographic targeting. So no interest, no lookalikes, only demographic targeting, and just let it run. What I wanted to note here, if it's break even or profitable, this broad ad set, I prefer to let this run consistently because it's constantly collecting new audience data. Remember, the downfall of any scale is fatigue. So if you're constantly collecting new data, you might find new opportunities in the pixel. The algorithm of campaign is going to be able to quickly adjust. Remember, scaling is easy. Maintaining a scale is not. This right here really helps maintain that scale. So this is the cycle that we use to introduce new creatives and new audiences to our existing 2 campaigns. So you can truly scale using these 2 campaigns, and by stacking, you're preventing that audience fatigue, and you're really feeding into the Facebook Power 5, large audiences, and giving Facebook every opportunity to acquire a result for you. So this is what the process actually looks like in the ad account as we're actively scaling. So let's say your ads are working, you're prepared, you understand the process, but you're not sure how to actually manage the budgets. How do you manage, and how do you know how much to increase or decrease your budgets by? So this is the process. What we do is use rules, both for the automations and also for us, and then automations as well to do this automatically. So why automations? They save time, and they prevent human error when analyzing data and making budget changes. With that said, if there's human error when setting the automations up, that is it's not fun. I actually made a mistake where instead of turning a campaign off, I adjusted the budget to like $5,000 a day, and didn't check for a couple days and ran through some budget, no results. Very big mistake. So just double check your automation rules before activating them, and then after you do activate them, check back occasionally, more frequently than when you have full trust in them. So when it comes to the rules, this is what we use here at Ponder for all of our brands and for our client brands. So we have 3 methods, and I won't have to read these because it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go through the first one. So Diamond Passive, the purpose behind this strategy is to grow results through a low risk and predictable scale. So each of these has a different risk tolerance allowed, essentially. So the risk here, if you have a low risk tolerance, this is going to be for you. The Diamond Passive is also a very good option for your first scale, just to see how things kind of move and how they work, ensure you have your processes down and so forth. So when it comes to the rules, we look at, if you're running for purchase, we look at the previous 3-day return on ad spend. And if it's 25% higher than our target ROAS, remember, you checked your numbers already, so you know your target ROAS. If it's 25% higher, we simply increase the budget by 10%. If it's below, we decrease by 5%. The same for leads. So this other one is the rule for leads. So we just put our target cost per acquisition in terms of like a lead or whatever the result might be. And really the only difference between passive and moderate and turbo is the increases. So moderate's going to have a 20% increase, 10% decrease. Turbo has a 50% increase, 35% decrease. And you're also looking at 2 days of data here and 1 day of data here. So turbo is what we used, as you saw in that screenshot at the start of this lesson, to go from $10,000, $15,000 a day to $75,000 a day. We use turbo to scale like that. So that's pretty straightforward. I'll show you how to actually use the automations in Facebook here in a second. But it is very easy as well to go in and manually make these adjustments. Just use one of these rule sets depending on your risk tolerance, the maturity of your ad account, how long you've been running at high budgets, and so forth. Really go off your confidence level, go off your gut. You can always go up. You can't get your money back. So frequently tested audiences. When it comes to lookalikes and interests and broad targeting, this is what we use when scaling. And lookalikes are numbered based on the amount of data required. So if you're a brand new company, let's say you have 100 purchases, but it's your first week, and you just launched, you just found a bunch of success, you're likely going to want to use the 95% video viewers and engage lookalike audience. The other ones, you probably don't have enough data yet. Maybe view content, but add to cart, initiate checkout, purchases, definitely wait on these. For add to cart, I'm looking at least for 1,000 add to carts, initiate checkout, same, and purchases, same. So really once I hit 1,000 in each one of these is when I move into it. View content, I'm looking for 5,000 to 10,000 of these. And then you can launch those lookalikes. Interest targeting, try to identify interests that align and favor your target demographic, target customer, target audience. So previously Facebook had the audience insights, they just removed that. So what you can do now, and what we do, is we use Google Analytics and we just really break down the demographics, locations, ages, genders, so forth. And by doing this, we can look at other companies, not necessarily competitors, but let's say like I have a candle company and I do research on my target demographic and see they're also into football. So, or like maybe the Bears and so forth. So what I would do is I'd launch an interest targeting NFL, targeting the Bears. Try things that are odd. Try interests that seem odd. The goal is simply to get broader audiences moved into the diamond stability zone to convert. This is also going to help maintain a scale. For example, one of my companies, our top interest was Netflix, and it has our product has nothing to do with watching TV. It's actually like almost the opposite. But what we found is our target demographic is also a target demographic of Netflix. So by targeting that, it became very profitable, and we faced a lot less of our direct competition over in that audience. So try some odd interests when scaling. And then broad. Previously, this only really worked when your pixel had tons and tons of data. But today, I find this targeting to be quite beneficial in early stages. Even just collect data, let data flow, and so forth, and we just let broad run. If it is like extremely unprofitable, you can turn it off. But if it is close to break even or profitable, in best case, keep it on. It's only gonna benefit you because you are collecting more data that is outside of your initial targeting. Facebook's artificial intelligence is extremely good, and they know who to target much better than we actually do. So let them do their thing, let them optimize, put some trust in it, and once again, view this as opportunity to fill your funnel with potential customers or leads that you might have missed with existing targeting. So this is how we scale Facebook ads. This is a full breakdown, all of our strategies, all of our data, our process, and it has worked extremely well, as you saw from our results that we've been able to generate using this. So with that said, take your time. Don't rush into a scale. It's extremely fun. It's extremely exciting. And when you do start scaling, it's going to be a blast. So with that said, I'll see you in the next lesson. Thank you so much for watching the Ponder Facebook advertising course. If you found this useful, please don't forget to go check out ponder.com. If you haven't already, sign up, get a membership there. You're going to get access to all of our artificial intelligence tools. All of the upcoming courses are going to be released on Ponder, and you'll have full access to those. You'll get access to the research, coaching vault, and so much more. So go check out Ponder. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Dylan out.